All right, everybody, welcome to Futv Sports Live. You're watching Futv Sports Live on the real Futv. Remember to subscribe. We are back. We have returned. The press conference is coming up, people. 1 second, please. Gotta adjust the audio levels. 1 second. All right, a not so hot day here in New York. It's kind of a nicer day. It's not too hot, not too cold. Nice out here, and it's raining. Wow, amazing. All right, people, we're gonna be watching the media event, the third one for the CANELO CRAWFORD fight that's coming up on September 13th. All right, we're gonna be doing kind of like a play-by-play, and we're gonna go around the web and look up some more videos of people in the boxing community online. You know what they think about this fight. This is being billed as a fight. I guess I would say. Well, they're building it actually as like fight of a lifetime. Kind of an exaggeration, I would say. It might be the beating of a lifetime, and it might not last very long, but it's kind of exciting in a way. So here we go. We got the countdown clock right there. We're waiting for the press conference to start. I think this one's happening. I think it's in Vegas. They still got that Fatal Fury on there. Interesting. I feel like I need to get that. The game actually looks pretty cool. Right? All right, you guys excited for the press conference? Imagine CANELO knocks Crawford out at the press conference. I don't know if that would be a good thing. You think that would that help the fight happen, or maybe it would be canceled? That'd be kind of crazy, I think. But it would be funny. I'll give him that. Here it is, people. 2 minutes and 42 seconds to showtime. But we are here. I'm going to go and I'm going to put on the chat on youtube.com, uCylinder. All right, 1 second, people. Just setting up some things and some stuff and some shit. Give me 1 second while I set up the chat. Combat. Fight a sin where the land is marked at. Settle the dispute about who the live is. 3-word answer. Whoever survive is. Only one of us could ride forever, so you and I can't ride together. Can't live or can't die together. All we could do is collide together. So I'll skillfully apply the pressure. Won't stop until I'm forever. One. So here we go, people. Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. Once again, it's being billed as once in a lifetime. Terrence Crawford, you know, kind of, I guess he's not exactly a superstar, but he's he's respected by a lot of people who don't know that much, I guess, about the guy's record. But they see him getting these knockouts and they think he's hot shit. So this is really, in a lot of ways, this is Terrence Crawford's biggest test. He's fighting a out-of-prime Canelo Alvarez, but it would be something to behold if he really was able to go up this many weight classes and beat this man. I don't see it happening. I think it's just a cash grab. And one of the main reasons I really don't care too much about this guy, Terrence Crawford, is I feel like he's a cherry picker, and he really didn't fight anybody in preparation for this. Look, if you're going to go up, you really want to build this fight up, you fight someone at 168, right? You don't just jump straight to Canelo, right? I'm not too big into that, you know? There's a lot of problems with this, but I guess it's something to look forward to when it comes to boxing, sort of. I really feel like I'd rather see Canelo fight David Benavidez was the fight for Canelo. The fight, to me, the fight for Crawford would have been the fights at 154, which would be Boots Ennis, since he's there now. Then you also have Virgil Ortiz. You have Tim Tszyu. You have a lot of guys. Terrence Crawford has a long list of guys to fight, but I feel like he came up in weight just to simply cash out. You know, have one big last fight. Not really that's respectable. I wouldn't call that the behavior of an all-time great. But here we go, people. We got 11 seconds left. Here we go. All right, sorry about that. I'm going to see if the audio's on. All right. Still setting up the chat. 1 second is about to start. All right, we got Skull Kids in the chat. Skull Kids 25. 1 second, people. Gotta turn on this audio. Got Skull Kids 25 in the comments. He says, "What up, Futv?" Then he's right, no, and then Canelo by unanimous decision. All right, here it comes, people.
We are in Las Vegas, Nevada, the T-Mobile Center, for the third and final stop on this really worldwide press tour from Riyadh to New York.
All right, so we got Max Kellerman doing the commentary, I guess, right?
Canelo Alvarez, the biggest star in boxing for most of the last decade, faces Terrence Bud Crawford, a man who still holds the distinction in the minds of many, including my own, as the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I'm Max Kellerman. Great to be with you. And it's great to announce the next member of our broadcast team, the one and only and
Gary Coleman.
John Anik. It's a pleasure.
All right, sorry. Gary Coleman. Wait, now you got the UFC guy? What the hell?
This magnitude needed Max Kellerman's pipes on it, but I covered boxing from 2003 to 2008.
You don't want his pipe on anything.
This opportunity and the responsibility of calling a fight of this magnitude certainly is not lost on me. I can't wait to dive into the preparation.
This is weird.
Nobody I would rather be working alongside than you.
I don't feel like I like his voice for boxing.
Broadcast team in the future, but you were celebrated in New York as you were announced last weekend on Sunday as the pageantry shifted from Saudi Arabia to New York City. What was it like sort of seeing this fight start to build?
I mean, you know, how many fighters have ever been called the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world? These are two of them. Right before Canelo, it was Andre Ward. Then before him, it was Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones.
I think
Chavez,
1 second.
Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard.
All right, so you could tell that Bomac was talking to these guys. I think it was Crawford or their people who set this whole thing in motion. This is why I think Dana White was kind of laughing. They had some it looks like they staged the event. That's why Dana's laughing. I don't think Canelo knew about that when that happened, that whole melee they had there pushing him and all that. We're going to see what happens today because it wouldn't shock me if Canelo actually slapped this guy. It wouldn't. And I think that would definitely build it up, right? Because, that wasn't right to do. It didn't look like this guy knew about it. When you look at Canelo's face, it looked to me like a genuine reaction. He's like, what the F? Why are you pushing me?
In 1978,
all right.
Muhammad Ali fought Leon Spinks in their rematch. They did 90 million TV sets. Not people, TV sets, right? There hasn't been a fight since then.
All right, Skull Kids in the comments says Max, Andre Ward lover, Kellerman. Kellerman don't know nothing about boxing.
You're not going to do 90 million people. Mayweather and Pacquiao, they do 4 million pay-per-view buys. Even if 5 people per buy are watching it, it's 20 million people. Netflix just did a fight, not on this level.
Right.
That did, what was it? 9 figures.
Yeah.
Not like you have over 100 million people. This fight will certainly be the most watched fight because of the platform.
Yeah.
In 50 years, almost 47 years.
And we're excited to bring it to you September 13th, of course, on Netflix from Allegiant Stadium. Canelo Alvarez putting his myriad super middleweight titles on the line against the fellow legend, the undefeated Terrence Crawford. Tail of the tape, so to speak, a little bit as well. Some punching stats as well. Alvarez will be 35 by the time the fight arrives. Crawford turns 38 2 weeks after the fight. Some of the numbers similar. Canelo has fought twice as many rounds in his near 70-fight pro career. He's about a 2-to-1 favorite right now. Certainly a legacy fight for both men. What is on the line for the bigger man, Canelo Alvarez?
Well, Canelo obviously doesn't want to lose to the guy moving up in weight. He is certainly going to be in the conversation for greatest Mexican fighter who ever lived. Julio Cesar Chavez, Salvador Sanchez.
They are really people. They are 100% UFC-ifying boxing. The entire way this is being presented is very similar to a UFC event. Even the graphics. It's like, I feel like they just got their UFC guys in here and just everything is just UFC-ified. Max Kellerman, I wish they didn't bring him along for the trip. Could we gotten like an actual boxer in there, people? The nepotism got to be through the roof, huh? Why do we have to have a never fighter coming in there being, announcer? Let's get some actual boxers in here, bro. Right? I mean, look, if you're going to, they got one of the UFC guys, and then we got one of our boxing guys. I mean, he ain't my guy, I never thought this guy was a great boxing announcer. He's a complete company man. I mean, look, I'd be happier with Paulie Malignaggi in there. Come on, bro. Crawford coming in, he looking a little stacked. He looked like he did put on a little muscle, But that head ain't really come along for the trip. I mean, his head looks bigger than his body now. This is kind of weird. He keeps, like, he just doesn't, he's growing in weird ways, people. He needs to do something else with the HGH. The HGH ain't working well. It really isn't.
A loss to Canelo Alvarez, at least for the...
Yeah, Crawford coming in. It's a decent shirt, right? He coming in there. He's looking a little bigger. Maybe a little chubbier, right? A little chub on him, probably. All right, let's listen to a little more Max Kellerman.
I think for a lot of people will legitimize his entire resume. No, not for the hardcore fans.
Yeah.
But as I mentioned with Turkey Al-Sheikh and Dana White and Nick Khan and Netflix, this is not just for the hardcore fans. In fact, it's not even mainly for them. This is for sports fans.
Right. That would be a signature win of the highest order were he to get it against Canelo Alvarez, a man who...
I don't know if I agree with that, the way he broke that down. This is for sports fans. I don't think people who like golf or really just watch all these like ball sports, you know, they just really like balls, right? And by that I mean they like only sports that involve balls, you know, basketball, baseball. These people just love balls, but they don't like to watch guys punch each other with balls. You know, I don't know if you would count, you wouldn't really call boxing gloves balls, would you? Look, if basketball was revolved around guys hitting each other with the basketball, I'd actually watch it. Like, I'd rather watch professional dodgeball than watch basketball. Just saying. But yeah, just because he's like, oh, this is for people who like sports. Not everyone who likes sports is going to like boxing. That's kind of the issue with this, I think. But there's a lot more potential with Netflix for people to, you know, get eyeballs on it. But I feel like network TV really is the way where to be, right? But I guess Netflix is the hit place, right? People watch more Netflix nowadays than they watch network television.
Yeah. So it's not that he doesn't have a deep bag, as they say, right? It's not that he's not a well-rounded fighter, but he hasn't been called upon to use those skills in a while. If it becomes the kind of fight where he needs to, the question is, can he count on that muscle memory that really he hasn't used in a long time?
Great way to put it. We'll find out September 13th. And, of course, out
wait, was he talking about Canelo?
Is the undefeated Terrence
I'm going to go.
Crawford.
I should have gone back.
31.
I probably missed some good information there. But the thing is that I think he basically said what I've been saying, people. I think I said this the other day in one of his comment forums. I said that Canelo, he got a lot of stuff in that bag, people, a lot. And he just hasn't used it in a while. So if this guy really is what they say he is, right, he's some high-level virtuoso boxer, then all that happens is that Canelo pulls a couple more tricks out of his bag. And keep in mind, he's got a lot more tricks in that bag than this guy does. This guy, Crawford, in a lot of ways, is just very sloppy. Look at the way, even the way he punches, he pulls it back. It's like all, it looks like a street fight. The guy's not, there's no like solid boxing fundamentals there. So how could they say this guy's such a virtuoso boxer when he doesn't even do the basics? In a lot of ways, sometimes he looks like, you know, if he's not looking like Mini Bone Mac when it comes to fat, he's looking like Mini Wilder at times. He just looks like Wilder. He'll just swing big looping shots, and he might get clipped with something that knocks him the hell out. Like, you cannot be punching like this with Canelo Alvarez. You know, big winging him all the way back in that way. Even Canelo, even when he's winging him from the back, from the bleachers, he's still technically better. Like, the way, even when he does that technique, he's doing it better than Crawford is, you know?
The guy to talk to, and probably 25% body fat, but how much muscle mass can Bud Crawford really add to try to add some size into this equation?
I think quite a bit. First of all, he's a wrestler. Like, he can wrestle.
Oh, my God.
He's a physically strong guy. He's an athlete.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you look at Canelo Alvarez, you're looking at a guy with a bigger skeleton than Bud Crawford. Right. So I don't know how much it matters that they come in weighing, you know, within shouting distance. If Crawford comes in on fight night weighing 170 pounds and Canelo's 180, I think it's not just a 10-pound difference.
Yeah, it's not. Bone density, exactly. I said, that's crazy. This mother effer saying exactly what I said. I told you, people. It's like I said, look, it's exactly, the bone density is different. Canelo's just a naturally bigger, stronger man. It isn't just Crawford stacking on another 20 pounds, right, of muscle. But he could, you know, he could take fucking PEDs, you know, HGH, and maybe even thicken his bones up a little bit, right? He could do that. But Canelo always been a stronger man, you know, bigger, stronger man. You also have to factor in you also do have to factor in the weight. Canelo could come in at probably at the least 15 to 20 pounds heavier than this guy. People wouldn't believe it, but Canelo, this guy's coming in at max, which was my prediction, just like Max Kellerman said. I said 170. That's probably how he will enter the ring. Canelo Alvarez can put at least 15 to 20 pounds more than that on his body. And he probably has close to that already. When he enters his ring, he's losing probably 10 to 15 pounds of water weight. You know, he could stack some on and, you know, lose a little and then be even bigger in there. It's a real thing he could do.
Super middleweight championship of the world. And it's all live on Netflix, a Riyadh season event presented by the General Entertainment Authority, Fatal Fury, Sella, TKO, and Ring Magazine. So, ladies and gentlemen, from Las Vegas to Riyadh, from Rio to Johannesburg, from Sydney to London to Hong Kong, from Netflix to every screen on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Boxing is the purest form of sport. It is the literal imposition of one man's will on another. That's why boxing's biggest fight and when you get two of the greatest fighters who've ever lived, you're about to witness the best moment in sports. And that moment is now upon us.
Here you go, people. Terence Crawford going up in weight to do what not many have done before. I don't know who's done it. It hasn't been done in a long time for a guy to come up this many weight classes this quickly. He would need all the sauce in the world. He's going to need super sauce to beat this guy, people. You know, what is this, 35-year-old Canelo Alvarez? The guy, no one can crack the guy's chin. No one has ever dropped this man even once. You have people saying right now that this guy's going to come up, Terence Crawford, and knock this man out. As much as I disagree with a lot of things Canelo Alvarez has done throughout his career, I know the guy is extremely skilled and he has taken on real challenges. He's fought guys that people thought were going to knock him the hell out. He fought Triple G that first time. We saw this guy running away the entire first fight. He very clearly lost. Second fight, he came back. Now I don't think he won it all, but he fought a very impressive fight. The guy deserves a lot of respect for that. I don't respect the fact at all that he didn't fight David Benavidez. I think that's the fight he should be having here. But hopefully in the future that does happen. From what I hear, Turki Al-Sheikh is actually trying to set that fight up. He's in talks right now with David Benavidez. Let's hope that it happens. But here we go. This is what we got for now. Nothing too great, but people seem to be kind of excited about it. And here we are, Las Vegas. The last press event for this fight before, you know, the weigh-ins. That's going to happen sometime in, you know, September 12th, right? So here we go. We're getting back into this, people. Las Vegas is going down. You might see maybe you'll see something exciting, right? Maybe Crawford will do something and Canelo will hit it with the slap down. You want to do shit, man? I slap you. Now it's time for the slap. Say hello to my hand. Right? That kind of thing. That could be pretty funny.
Champion from lightweight to junior middleweight, and the current WBA and interim WBO junior middleweight champion. Please welcome the ring's #3 pound-for-pound best and Omaha, Nebraska's own Terence "Bud" Crawford.
What is this? A fucking award show? I'm here to
guys with.
Oh my God! It's gone to commercial. What the f? Terence Crawford coming out like, I'm here for the award for most greatest cherry-picking fighter of all time. And the award goes to, oh, well, the nominees are Floyd Mayweather, Terence Crawford, and the winner is me.
You can
all right, let's
finance
skip
a new
this shit.
system like this one right here with 0% interest financing.
The hell?
And now, the champion. He's held world titles in 4 divisions, from junior middleweight to light heavyweight. One of the most prolific counter-strikers and body punchers in the world. This man is set to make his 68th walk to the ring. He is the undisputed king at 168.
Greatest supporting actor role, Canelo Alvarez. And the award goes to
the ring's number 8 pound-for-pound fighter and the pride of Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. Here is Canelo Alvarez.
Oh, the Canelo. Canal. He looks straight out of Blood In, Blood Out. Bro, the dude got a new leg. You know that. Anybody know the movie Blood In, Blood Out? That dude who gets his leg shot off. Here he is. Hello, I'm Luke Schwarzenegger.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name.
All right, sorry people about the glitch here. Hopefully this gets fixed. Give me 1 second. It's going to reset itself.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm a little technical issues here. One moment.
I represent Riyadh Season, who proudly bringing us
fix this right now.
card in Vegas. Finally, this is happening. This is what most critics call the fight of the century.
Oh my
Two
God,
the
fight of the
greatest
century.
Fighter of all time. Canelo and Crawford finally facing each other, and we're very thrilled to have that. I want to thank the Crown Prince for his support and His Excellency Turkey al-Sheikh, whose vision and we look forward for an amazing fight.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming out today.
And people could see, look, see people?
Who's got the first question?
You see Crawford? He's in good shape. He looks like he's in decent shape right now, but the guy clearly looks smaller. Can I ask you a question, Dana? How do you shave your head so sexy?
What's it been like here in the biggest fight week in UFC every year and working with Dana White?
I always like Dana White, you know. You guys make us like look at we are competing, but I know.
Crawford has a very pinched physique, people. If you notice, look at his shoulders. Look at the difference between Canelo's shoulders and Crawford's shoulders.
And I think this we
very
can
pinched.
show people if we are together, we can do big things. So I'm very glad to work with Dana White and obviously everybody involved in this big fight, Turkey al-Sheikh, Netflix, Nick Khan, everybody. So I'm glad to go with this guy. So I always like him and he knows.
Similar question for Bud Crawford. You know, a lot of MMA fans, UFC fans, may not have ever seen you fight before, and they might tune in because Dana and the UFC are involved. So what has it been like maybe introducing yourself to a lot of MMA fans?
Say that again.
Oh my God.
What's it like?
He failed already.
Dana, you got
it.
Boo!
This guy's an idiot.
I don't think you did your research by saying a lot of MMA fighters haven't seen me fight before. I think that's wrong. I got a lot of fans, friends that's been in the UFC, MMA field, being that I got a wrestling background. When I'm at the UFC Performance Institute, I got so many.
I know, bro. I got so many. Dude, I know like 4 guys at the institute.
I don't know where you got that from.
I'm pretty sure he researched it.
You know, for a long time, you've wanted to promote boxing.
He's so likable.
Make a few changes. So I guess, what are you most excited for to introduce to boxing? Because this does kind of feel like a UFC production here. At the
I don't know where you got that from. What are you, racist?
You know, obviously, I've been talking about boxing for a long time. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for boxing. And I said it, you know, leading up to this. For this to be my first boxing match that I'm promoting is pretty surreal and incredible. And like Canelo was saying, the great thing about working on this fight, other than how epic it is, Hercules. I like both of these guys. They're both really good guys. They're great to work with. So we're looking forward to it. This is going to be fun.
Question for Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, last time we did one of these press conferences, you actually ended up shoving Bud at the end of it. What exactly caused that?
He hit me with his big belly.
I'm new in English, so your English is a little bit. Can you speak a little bit slowly?
You sound a little bit retarded. Can you please speak non-retarded?
Got it.
Non-retarded?
You know what? I didn't. He did before. He tried to welcome me back. and it just was my reaction. That's it. You know, you know what kind of fighter I am. I always try to respect my
Look how easily he pushes this guy.
And I think he don't.
Big, strong Crawford gets pushed, right?
Because he really wanted to do. I think Turki Al-Ashi told him, you need to do something.
You bodying.
He did. He did. And now, before I respect his word because he say, oh, I'm not going to let somebody to tell me what I need to do. And he did. So, but you know me. I respect everybody, but if you fuck with me, so it's going to be different.
Oh, damn.
Terence, is that true? Did Turki Al-Sheikh ask you to spice things up?
Turkey didn't ask me to do nothing. I didn't touch him.
You know.
I didn't touch him. He used his belly.
Hey,
you know these.
First,
The dude is a liar.
First and foremost, somebody was in the room saying that I was scared of them. So I stepped to him and showed him who was the boss of this fight. I ain't scared of shit.
Hey, I never say that. Your uncle say that, not me.
I ain't scared of shit.
His uncle said it, and by uncle, people, by uncle, he means Turkey.
We'll see.
When I walked you down, when you supposed to be the bigger man.
Yeah, hey, you say that because you're fighting with nobody, and you obviously look like you're a great fighter. But you find out September 13th, this is gonna be different for you.
As well.
Question for CANELO.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You mention me one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
that's pathetic.
I don't care about anybody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your asses, you're gonna be a nobody.
Crawford really trying. Crawford's he's feeling it. He's feeling it, people. He knows he's gonna die. Crawford's trying to build himself up. He got a chip on his shoulder. Canelo gonna knock that chip right off his chin.
Every last one of them stuff a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's like, watch. I beat a washed up Earl Spence. I got your ass.
You both are making history in this fight, and you've been in that spot before that Terence is right now. You moved up to chase greatness. So how do you compare that spot to the one you're in now when you're fighting the guy who is moving up to chase greatness?
I've been in his situation before, and I know, it's going to be a good fight.
Crawford's very butthurt right now.
It's going to be a good fight. I'm going to bring my best. I know he's a good fighter, but this is just different.
He's okay.
You see what happened when a good fighter jump up and his opponent is great fighter. So you're going to find out.
So that means you're a good fighter and Bivol is a great fighter, right? Right?
That doesn't,
you a good fighter
that doesn't make any sense.
I'm a great fighter.
So you got your ass whooped by a good fighter, right?
You're a good fighter.
I'm saying.
But I'm great.
Okay.
And question.
Well, every time you stepped up, you lost. Great fighter.
I'm not.
Every time you stepped up, you lost, which technically is not even true.
So how do you approach not only fighting an opponent,
Terence Crawford stepped it up,
but also moving up to chase?
Terence Crawford stepped it up, people, and he lost. Madrimov beat him.
I'm a big fan of Canelo. He's a great fighter, but I think I'm better. Everything that I have inside myself, the tools that I have, I'm capable of doing anything that I want in the ring. And come September 13th, I will become the first male 3-time undisputed champion of the world.
Pregunta por Canelo. Ya escuchaste la reacción.
People, he says male because Clarissa Shields went up and fought an absolute fucking bum who only had technically 4 fights versus absolute bums. Well, technically it was 5 fights, but she fought all bums. She got this title from a woman who was a noob. Yeah, the lady was literally like 45 years old and fought with nobody. She fought basically, she might as well have fought a homeless woman off the street.
Of the
And that's her legacy's built on beating a bum.
What does it feel like to have an entire nation behind you for this fight?
La verdad es que me siento muy contento, me siento muy agradecido con todos ustedes, porque a lo largo de mi carrera siempre me han apoyado. Me siento muy contento de poder representar a mi país. En otro país, de pintar la bandera mexicana y estar involucrado en este tipo de peleas, en peleas grandes. En el fin de semana de la independencia, para mí es un orgullo. Muchas gracias a todos por su apoyo y que viva México, cabrones.
I feel very happy and very grateful for everybody here.
All right, we got Skull Kids 25 in the comments says lame conference. Both Canelo and Crawford are horrible. Horrible speakers, horrible fighters. No, they're not horrible. Damn, Crawford mad. I think this is actually better than the second press conference. I feel like.
Everywhere to see you. How loud is it going to be on September 13th?
Oh, it's gonna be big. You barely can't talk with your girlfriend. Believe me, it's gonna be big.
And question for Terence Crawford. Your coach, Bo Mack, is here. How special is it?
Oh my God, you're fucking annoying. 1 second, please. That's Terence Crawford's going to become one of these on the 13th.
But there's only one thing you got to keep in mind. They can't fight for him.
That dude is so cheesy, huh?
Go ahead. Who's next? Go ahead.
Canelo. Pregunta para Saúl Canelo Álvarez en directo desde España, desde el partidazo de Cope. Ilia Topuria siempre ha dicho que te tiene muchísimo respeto, que sería un sueño llegar a pelear contra ti si algún día se pasa al boxeo. ¿Cómo ves a Ilia como boxeador y te gustaría que algún día llegase a darse esa pelea?
Ilia Topuria has said he respects you a lot, and he would love to fight you if he ever came into boxing. How do you see him in boxing? What would you think of a fight against Ilia Topuria? How would you feel?
That's some dumb
La
stuff.
verdad es que nunca lo he visto pelear bien. Una pelea completa.
He's never seen him fight great.
Para mí es un honor que obviamente agarren un poco de mi boxeo. También mis respetos para todos, para todo tipo de peleador, mis respetos para todos. Y lo de la pelea, bueno, ya veremos después, ¿no? Ahora sí que primero lo primero. Le deseo lo mejor.
First of all, I have never seen him fight a full fight, like a complete fight, but I really love what, and I respect a lot, and I admire, and thank you. And I have a lot of gratitude for fighters that, take a little bit of my fighting and respect it. It's awesome to see other fighters like me. But let's see, as far as the fighting against him, first things first, let's hear about this now.
Go ahead, sir.
Question for Terence to your left. There's a narrative that's built over the last few years that Canelo's best days may be behind him. Given that narrative that's emerged, do you think that you're going to get the credit if you do beat him?
I don't know.
Of course not. Well, I'll get some,
The thing that I focus on, I just focus on what I need to focus on to get the job done, and so be it. If I get the credit,
he's always fought washed up guys.
As long as I got the victory.
He's always going. It doesn't matter what weight they are either.
A lot of people have also not necessarily poked up.
It's not frustrating because I've been dealing with it my whole career.
Stop cherry picking.
It ain't nothing new.
Right?
And question for Saul, what do you make of people saying that your best days are behind you?
We'll see, September 13th. They can't talk, but you will see.
Thank you.
Go ahead, ma'am.
One for Terence, one for Dana. Terence, every time that you fight,
Terence
so much
still
is
got,
being made
for
of
people
your
who don't know,
resume.
Terence still got a little bloat on him,
Who have you fought? How much does it motivate you for this fight to actually hear that you're the underdog and that your resume is again being questioned?
Listen, that just tells how great I am. When I fight somebody that they portray to be somebody, I make them look like nobody, and they say, oh, well, he was that much better than this guy. He shouldn't have been in the ring with him. So I'm motivated. I'm always motivated. And come September 13th, like I said before, I'm going to make everybody cry when they go home.
Question for Dana. Dana, you often said that you hated the idea of a stadium fight. What's it mean for you that this stadium fight is actually in Allegiant and in Las Vegas?
Yeah, well, the fact that I don't like stadiums because I feel like the experience isn't great for fights. So it's my job and my team's job to make sure that the experience, the live experience inside Allegiant Stadium is the best anybody's ever seen in combat sports. So
we got a preview of Canelo Crawford, people.
Thing, and, you know,
Small
we did
little
the
preview
sphere in a short amount of time, so I guarantee you we'll pull this off too.
There it is.
Thanks. Go ahead.
Question for Canelo and Dana. Have you made up after Dana made you wait for that Kovalev fight all those years ago?
Fucking platform made me wait, but I get mad after that. No, about him. I never wait for anybody.
My boy. What was the question? We make up after what?
Did you make up after the Kovalev incident a couple of years ago, where you made him wait a few hours for his fight while you had a show in New York?
I don't think we ever had a beef about that. We've never. Listen, I've known Canelo for a while. We've never had a problem ever. Super nice guy. People are good people. Same with Crawford. It's a great situation because I actually really like both guys.
All right, so these guys are making up right now, people. We got Skug Kids in the comments says, to Canelo talks a lot of shit. You talk a lot of shit, man. To Crawford, but never said that to Benavidez. Canelo too. Canelo fought a lot of washed up fighters like Crawford. Yeah, he fought some guys that were up there in age, but I don't think they were as washed up as the guys that this guy's fighting, who are literally in retirement pretty much. You know, I don't think Canelo fought. The closest thing I think a fight that Canelo had to like a Spence would be a guy like a Kirkland. People don't know, Kirkland was basically almost finished. But Kirkland had, I think, many fights after that Canelo fight, but he was kind of washed. It's a brain damaged guy. Let's hear this. Canelo speaking.
And for me, it's always great to see so many Mexicans there cheering for me. So I'm glad to be involved in this fight.
I'm happy to stage the first mega fight at the Allegiant Stadium, and looking forward to, you know, all the big things that they do in the future with the sport of boxing and UFC.
You know what's terrible? The fact that Canelo's first language isn't even English, and he's a better. I feel like he has more of like an aura about him, right? He's sort of like it's the confidence. Like Crawford doesn't really. He doesn't like. You just don't feel the confidence coming from him in any way. The way he carries himself, the way he speaks.
So you fought on September and that date and that.
People don't gravitate to that. This is one of the reasons Crawford's never been a star, I feel like.
To the crowd after the skull fight.
Oh, de mi parte, lo que a mí me compete, siempre he dado lo mejor, tratando de dar lo mejor, de hacer una buena pelea. De mi parte, que quede bien claro que voy a tratar de hacer lo mejor para que la gente salga contenta y que de mí no quede.
On my part, you always have a promise that I'm going to work hard and I'm going to give my best, and I'll tell you why.
Well, what I hope that Crawford, that in some way, before the end of his career, hopefully this isn't the last fight of his career, because if he's really going to solidify him as anything in this sport, I think the best thing he could do is go back down to 154 after this fight and pick up the best win he can get. Or maybe even try to be active for once in his life and maybe try to win a string of fights, right? Try to like become undisputed at 154. That would be great. But again, this guy's in a lot of ways has been a fraud. He's all smoke and mirrors, I feel like. But I would like him to go down and actually fight some real dangerous competitors. I actually think he has a shot at beating Ortiz, right? And that would be a huge feather in his hat, right? To be the first guy to beat that man. Even though I thought what's his name? Boachuk, I thought he won that fight, but officially, Ortiz has no losses.
But I fought the best, and I've always found weaknesses, and I've always been able to adapt to any situation.
Go ahead, sir.
I got one for Canelo, one for Bud. For Canelo, what's the difference between preparing for a bigger fighter like Bivol compared to a smaller fighter like Bud?
Bud.
You need to gain weight when you move up, and it's complicated. Both parts is complicated. I mean, for my preparation for Crawford is gonna be different. Obviously, I need everything: speed, power, moves, everything. So it's gonna be different. My sparring partners, everything needs to be correct.
Got you. My man Bud, will a win over Canelo put you ahead of Mayweather as the greatest boxer of this generation?
Listen, I leave the opinions to everybody else. But like I said, after this fight, when I defeat Canelo,
when I defeat
I'll be
Cotto.
on Mount Rushmore. That's where I'm gonna be.
Go ahead, sir.
Hola Canelo, una pregunta para ti, soy London de la Oreja de Coliflor desde Colombia. Hace unos días tuviste la rueda de prensa en New York con Dana y con Terrence y pues...
In this fight, people, this guy, Reynoso, is going to be like, whatever he hits, he destroys. And by that, I mean Canelo, this guy, people, he might be a little too small for this weight, I think. And also, even if he was at 154, he'd be getting knocked out. We're going to watch a video later that shows you this guy really had no confidence. This is a little over 2 years ago, or under 2 years ago, Crawford was saying that he could never fight Canelo. And now somehow magically he's fighting him.
Like Mayweather, where would you rank a fight against Terence Crawford in the ranking of your fights if you could?
No, eso no quiere decir que no sea un buen peleador, ¿no? Que no haya enfrentado a un buen peleador, un elite fighter, no quiere decir que no sea un buen peleador, ¿no? Obviamente va a ser una de mis mejores victorias en mi carrera.
That does not mean he's not a great fighter. That doesn't mean he's not a good fighter just because of the fact that I mentioned that. But I'll tell you what, a win against him is going to be one of the best wins in my career.
Gracias. And quick question for Terrence. Terrence, well, the talks about him, about your resume, that you're not a elite fighter. After this fight, how would you rate yourself?
I like he's calling him elite, non-elite, elite, non-elite. He just called him elite.
Well, listen, you know what I mean? Like I said, a win over Canelo will put me on, Mount Rushmore. And I really believe that.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Go ahead, ma'am.
This fight is made once in a lifetime. Talk about who was your best win for both of you. This question is for both Saul.
Oh, this is a terrible question. Crawford's going to be like, fuck.
Is there one particular fight for both of you that stands out as the most meaningful and you said, damn, I did that with pride?
I would say for me, the
most
meaningful fight for me was becoming a world champion. But in the fans' eyes, my biggest moment was against Errol Spence.
For me, I have many, but I think with Triple G is one of my biggest.
I knew he was going to say that.
So I got two questions for Canelo Alvarez. The first one is, would you consider yourself to be the best Mexican fighter of all time?
No, I don't want to answer that question. I think my resume when I'm retired is going to talk, and I want to wait.
And the second question is, would you move up and weight to fight Bivol again?
Yeah, why not?
Go ahead, sir.
Question for Terence Crawford.
Questions for Terence Crawford.
Undisputed
Were
at
you...
147. If you become undisputed at 168,
Is that Patty the Batty?
Where do you feel like you would rank?
Oh my God, again.
For over
Can you
70
please stop?
years, Bottini has delivered warmth and smiles to families throughout the Hudson.
Bottini.
Answer. Y'all keep asking me the same thing.
You're asking this guy.
Different ways. But like I said, a win over Canelo Alvarez will put me on Mount
They're
Rushmore.
going to axe this man.
I'm done with talking about it.
Whoa. Calm down, bro. Calm down.
Dana, where does this rank for you personally?
Personally?
The biggest fight you promoted or you've been involved with?
Yeah, I mean, obviously my first boxing fight ever. This is one of those fights that, again, Sheikh Turkey, Saudi Arabia, without them,
I want blood and broken bones.
The kind of fights that you'd be talking about in 10 years that you wish.
That's what Turkey
you
said the
would've been
other
able
day,
to see.
people.
That's what this fight is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Miguel Maravilla with Fight News. Dana, how would you compare this event? You've promoted numerous MMA, UFC events, and now this boxing event.
What I always try to do, and I've always tried to do since day one, is put on the best fights with the best fighters in the world. And like I just said to that guy, this is one of those fights. He's moving up in weight, undefeated, all the things that these two have accomplished in their career. And the fact that anybody's even saying to Terence Crawford, oh, does this mean it's fucking ridiculous. These are two of the best motherfuckers of all time, and they're going to face off at a higher weight class, and they're going to fight. And this is a once-in-a-lifetime fight.
Oh my God! No, it isn't.
A big splash here in Vegas.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime scam.
What's the difference now coming into this fight?
There's no difference. You know, Brady Prescott was supposed to be this big, strong, just like Canelo. Been in the ring with great fighters like Amir Khan, knocked him out. So, you know, that was years ago, though. I'm a way totally different fighter now. September 13th. You can believe me, you can doubt me, but September 13th, I assure you I'll be walking away with my hand raised.
Saúl.
Raised.
Saúl, ¿cómo comparas esta pelea a ambas peleas que has sostenido? Tu primera pelea contra José Miguel Cotto.
Sorry, people, I had to hit the laugh track on some of that stuff. He's like, I fought Amir Khan, I knocked him out. This guy failed to knock out a washed-up Amir Khan. He literally won on low blows versus a guy who's got the softest jaw in boxing. Yeah, that's actually, when I heard him say that, people, I was actually kind of depressing. It's a little sad that it's just sad to actually see him. That's his career. That's what he gets the point at. You know, a guy like Amir Khan, and you can't even knock him out. He actually had the nerve to say he knocked him out. You didn't knock out Amir Khan, bro. You didn't. He was not knocked out. His balls hurt. That was all that happened. He knocked him out with Amir Khan was put away by aching balls. You know, he didn't knock the guy out. I guess if you consider low blows if you change the rules of boxing and now you can knock a guy out with low blows, I guess then there's a different story, I guess.
Sponsorship based on just, you know, how ICE and Mexican, your people.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, ice. Yeah, that's what Amir Khan was doing after that fight. He was icing his balls. It's funny.
And then
and Canelo's like, I don't want to talk about that shit. Dude asked about ice. He's like, hey, motherfucker, I'm a legal citizen, motherfucker.
At 168.
Don't ask me about ice, okay?
Do it look like I'm putting it on right or wrong?
I think it's funny that they ask a Mexican every time about fucking ice. Bro, there's other immigrants in the States outside of Mexican, you know, illegal immigrants from Mexico. There's a lot of different immigrants, but they're always just putting it up on the Mexicans. Canelo, what do you have to say about ice? It's like, he's like, I might want to talk about that. What the fuck are you talking about?
Canelo, UFC ya tuvo 3 campeones mexicanos, Alexa Grasso, Jair Rodríguez y Brandon Moreno, quienes han sido grandes exponentes con el striking. ¿Qué características crees que comparten tanto los peleadores como los boxeadores mexicanos como tú?
Canelo, there have been 3 Mexican champions in the UFC, Brandon Moreno, Alexa Grasso, and Jair Rodríguez. And how do you compare their styles, and what do you think they pull from boxing, from Mexican boxing into the MMA world?
Es muy fácil esa pregunta. Somos mexicanos.
The answer is very easy. We're Mexican.
Oh, my God.
This is the last one. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, question
Dana
for
White.
Canelo. Who would you rather fight, Mike Tyson or Jake Paul?
Oh, it's going to be Jake Paul, of course.
I should have made it 2 more questions.
I got another one.
Oh, we can't wait.
It's a shit question.
Say the next one, please.
All right. As a content creator and fan of boxing,
They don't want to help
content
Jake Paul
creators
out.
get out of boxing.
Los creadores de contenido tienen que salir del boxeo.
What's the question?
Who should content creators get out of boxing?
Yeah, I'm asking, should content creators...
Listen, there's always going to be fights that people want to see, whether it's content creators or whoever else. I really don't give a shit.
I would say a boxing
One way
match
or
is
the
a
other.
form of content,
Thank you.
now, isn't
Thank
it?
you.
Good fight, guys.
Thank you, guys. We're going
Let's
to rip
pair-
this stuff out of here. Do the
let's pair
face
these
off,
guys
and then
off.
the UFC weigh-ins will be next. Thanks
Oh,
for
my
coming
God. They just put them all together, huh? These guys are going to get out of there, and then the UFC is going to come in there. That's fucking crazy. Talk about efficient. Here we go, mother effers. These guys are coming to the scale.
For decades now, boxing's most formidable opponent has been...
They're not coming to scale. They're going to come in. They're going to do their face-off. Crawford's going to be like, I got you. I got you. I'm going to knock you out just like I did Khan.
Everybody wants to see. Torturous.
How many years have I been clamoring so we can get the fights that we want to see when we want to see them?
I got to tell you, people, I've said it many times. I think there's only 2 ways Crawford's coming out of this ring. He's either going to quit or he's going to get knocked the F out. Remember to subscribe to the Real Food TV, people. This is one of the greatest channels known to man. We are currently watching, you know what we're watching. We're watching the build-up. The build-up, the last press conference of Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. They are doing the build-up to the face-off. Oh my God, Gamboa, look at this guy. He's knocking out midgets. He's doing it all. He's an all-time great. He's like, I got you, Canelo. You're the right age. There's a fake body. They gave this guy an AI body. But here we go, people. The face-offs are coming. But once again, before we go into the face-offs, remember to subscribe to the Real Food TV. It's the greatest channel known to man. It really effing is, people. It really effing is. Really effing. Oh, Crawford! Wait. What's up with my bombs? Here we go. Here comes, baby. The not-so-super flight. They got a Wu-Tang tattoo, that guy there. Interesting. Canelo. Here comes Canelo on Crawford, everyone. Oh, Crawford, look at him. Canelo this time's wearing big clothes. Let's be cool, boys. Crawford's a little puffed up. Oh my God, look at the difference in the head, people. This is crazy. Talk about bone density. Canelo like smiled a little bit because he could see it, bro. He could see it. You saw he had the little micro smile? People, he could see that shit. He sees it. Talk about another one weigh-in, people. Or face-off, not weigh-in. He's chubby, people. Look, he's thick. Crawford still got some bloat on him. He got that bloat. He'll be 170 probably when he comes in the ring. Damn, they're booing his ass. Canelo dressed up like he coming straight out of Compton, right? Look at this guy. Crawford wearing clothing as tight as he can get him. What is he doing? He's like talking to Dana. Like, come on, Dana. Look at the backs on these guys. Tell you, people, this guy is bigger than him, and Crawford, he ain't even fight ready yet. He ain't fight ready. This guy's close to fight ready.
Has officially been ratcheted up a notch from New York City to Las Vegas. Welcome back to the broadcast position here as we continue press conference festivities here for Canelo versus Crawford. And now we turn our attention to another man of our broadcast team, Mark Kriegel, who now shares with us a closer look at one Canelo Alvarez.
I don't think I like the way they did.
If the first thing you noticed was the hair.
Look, I'm okay with this, right? That they did the press conference wasn't that bad. It was okay. One of my issues is that they made them second fiddle. Even though they were first, in some ways it makes them second fiddle to the UFC event that's happening tomorrow. They should have done the UFC event first, right? That's what I feel like. Because then you end the night with the boxing. Instead, like a main event, right? What happens in a main event, people? You have all the pre-fights. And then the main fight comes in. So you put all your UFC weigh-ins, and then you bring in the boxers. Like, what the hell? What's wrong with these guys? All right, so they're doing a little build-up here. The press conference, the boxing press conference has come to an end. All right, we're going to look at a couple of videos, and I'm going to be getting out of here. It was a decent press conference. If I had to give it a score, I'll put my scorecard in the screen, and we'll see. Wait. Where the hell's my button? I'm missing my buttons. Give me 1 second. We'll listen to this for a minute. All right. One moment, please.
Classically trained with titles in 4 divisions. Oh! And even in rare defeat, consumed with making history.
The concrete stone hands of Canelo.
The accuracy of Canelo, second to none.
Concrete stone hands, huh?
What Canelo did at 168 pounds remains without precedent.
Canelo was accomplished.
All right, people, if I had to give it a number score compared to the previous press conferences, I will let me think. The first one, I'd say, when it comes to press conferences I've seen in the past, or we'll just compare it to the first press conference, because I think of the press conferences, I think the first one in a lot of ways was the best. So I'll give that one I'd say since it's the best, I consider it the best. I'll give that a 10. This one here. All right, I don't know if you guys could see that. That looks terrible. Give me a second. I got to make that look a little better than that. One moment. We need some music in here, people. We really do. We need some damn music. It's got a little, not much going on here. Let's get some effing music in here. This is getting dark. This is getting deep and dark, all right? 1 second. All right, that's terrible too. All right, compared to the first press conference, people, I'm going to give this one. But anyway, I'll give it a 9. I give this one a 9 compared to the first one. The first one's the 10. Look at it. I got a 9 on the screen. There you go. Isn't it amazing? Canelo. The winner is Mr. Canelo. He won. I think he won. If you're going to give a winner, I'd say I'd give Canelo. Definitely Canelo won this. And you're probably going to hear Showbiz. You know, the guy's got a decently popular page. If he's being honest, he will tell you, if I was going to go by body language, facial expressions, confidence, there's many different factors. I think Canelo very clearly won this press conference. I told you I saw the micro expressions on Canelo's face. He smiled right when he was looking at Crawford, and then when he turned, he had a much larger smile, right? Because he felt it. And Crawford knows that he saw it. He knows that he knows what Canelo, the face. You think this guy doesn't know what Canelo's doing with his face? He's looking at him. That guy's smiling right next to him, okay? Crawford didn't have the confidence that Canelo does. So I would say if you're going to have a winner built on that, you know, it would be Canelo. But when you're going by fight, sometimes being overly confident can be an issue. You never know, people. You never know. Crawford not looking too small, but I think he is a little kind of. He is, you know, he's kind of bloated. He's not fight ready yet. He's in pretty decent shape. He's not a tiny man. So when Canelo beats him, which I think Canelo will knock him out. When he beats him, you can't take too much away from this man because you got to keep in mind, this guy, Crawford, was a big weight cheat. He was a big weight bully. And that's not to say that Canelo wasn't a weight bully in his career, earlier in his career. But as the years went by, he was fighting bigger men. This guy here has been fighting smaller, weaker, older, washed-up fighters his whole career. This is a big jump for him, okay? It is for him. If he was younger, you know, if he was a younger man, like if Crawford actually tested himself and was younger, this could be possibly doable. But when I look at these fighters, I look at Crawford's overall career. I look at his mental state, what he is, his character, right? Who he is as a fighter. And to me, he's kind of a cowardice guy in a lot of ways. He really is. You don't cherry pick your whole career if you have incredible confidence. Now, he could come up there on stage and be all cool and, you know, try to boast or try to, you know, puff up his feathers and pretend that he's hot shit. But in reality, what we saw here was a guy who's angry that he's been disrespected in a lot of ways, but it wasn't. Actually, it isn't even disrespect. It's Canelo literally calling it out for what it is. And so you see Crawford over here puffing up, kind of trying to psych himself up. And Canelo's sitting there very, like, matter of fact, very confident and just being like, okay, bro, I'm going to beat you. And that's all there is. This guy's really trying to build himself up. So in every way, I think Canelo, he won when it comes to overall confidence and him knowing what he's been through. You know, this guy's worked very hard for this. I think he knows Crawford hasn't, right? So if this is a big payday, I mean, you know, Canelo, I said it earlier, I don't agree with everything he's done, but I think if you're going to give it a winner, I think Canelo is the more confident fighter, the more seasoned fighter, the more skilled fighter, and in the end, the bigger man. So this way, to put it simply, he's bigger and he's better in every single way. Almost pretty much every single way, except possibly footwork. There's a lot of people giving Crawford credit for his footwork, but you got to keep in mind when Crawford moves, he doesn't even punch. He just moves, and that's it. He's out of position. When Canelo moves around that ring, there's a purpose behind it. Most times he's in position to punch. Yes, he bounces into position from time to time, and his construct comes apart. But most times when he moves, he's in position to punch. A lot of people fail to see this. They're like, oh, whoa, look, this guy moves really fast. Look, a skull moving around. But look, the guy cannot punch when he's in those positions. And the same goes for guys like Floyd. The guy would run around the ring and he wasn't in positions to punch. He would just dart around and then he would set himself and hit you with a singular punch and grab. We're coming to the end of that style of fighting. So I think if Crawford was to even do that and do a pot shot and run, if Canelo was to catch him with 2 shots in that round compared to Crawford's 1, most likely they would give the round to Canelo. And you see here, look at the difference. Look at that bone density, people. Look at the size. Now, Crawford, like I said, Crawford is bloated up. That's why I like Max Kellerman pointed that out. This is a difference in bone density. This is a difference in a naturally bigger man. They both had like a little micro smile. I think Canelo just finds it funny, you know.
I think that, as is often the case in boxing promotions or in fight promotions, guys can start out with a lot of respect for each other because they're fans of each other. They watch the sport and they can see the other one's really good. But as they get around
not
each
all
other,
boxers are fans of the sport.
Competitive people. Yeah. And they start to dislike each other because this is boxing, one winner. They're two guys and it's not a team sport and there's no one else. You are responsible for the whole thing and you got to beat that guy and he's coming for everything you have. So they are starting to, I think, develop a healthy dislike for each other, and that it will become more intense, one imagines, as this thing gets closer.
So certainly in terms of the matchmaking, it was interesting because Canelo Alvarez had a fight and some business to take care of, even though he had verbally agreed to this fight. Now we push the reset button and they head into training camp. What are your expectations for what the next couple months are going to hold for both guys?
This is going to be super interesting for Canelo especially. Everyone's focusing on Terrence Crawford because he's a smaller guy. How much weight is he going to put on, et cetera, et cetera. No rehydration clause in this fight. Meaning, like when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez, because Canelo's the bigger guy, he put a rehydration clause in, because Floyd was the money guy. If Canelo wanted the payday, he had to acquiesce and give Floyd what he wanted. Canelo's the money guy.
It could cost you. All right. Sorry about that, people. That's pathetic. He put a rehydration clause on him. That is fucking pathetic. But it was stupid of Canelo to do that. It was dumb, because he made him come in at 152. That shows you this guy doesn't give a shit about titles. He just wants bragging rights. But how do you get bragging rights, Floyd Mayweather, when you didn't even actually beat the real Canelo? You beat a guy who was dehydrated. So for people to give that guy full credit for that win is fucking pathetic.
That's what I'm looking at.
No one is able to provide better context nor historical framework for a fight of this magnitude. So before we let you go, any final thoughts on just how big an event we are leading up to on September 13th?
I don't know how else to put it. This will be the most watched fight in nearly half a century. It seems to me to be the first step in what promises to be a golden age of boxing.
Well, we couldn't have a better lead analyst than Max Kellerman. It all goes down September 13th, Allegiant Stadium, Canelo versus Crawford. About 78 more sleeps until the fight of the century. Can't wait to see it play out. Canelo Alvarez out of the red corner. Terrence Crawford out of the blue corner. We got to get on out of here with that for Max Kellerman and our crew. John Anik signing off. We will see you September 13th from Allegiant Stadium. Good night.
All right, 1 second, please. All right, so we're going to be getting into a couple bits of news about what's going on today. When it comes to combat news, today we actually have Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is going to be fighting today. All right. I don't know if the card has started yet, but he is fighting. One moment, I'm getting my chat back in here. I'm having some glitches, as YouTube does from time to time. All right, one moment, please. So there we go. The press conference is over. What do you guys think? What'd you think of it? All right, we got HJ92 in the comments. What's up, homies? He live. Sup? All right. There was no rehydration clause for Canelo versus Floyd. Passive says there was no rehydration. Yes, there was. I don't know if you researched it, but there was 100% a rehydration clause in that fight. Canelo Alvarez could come in no bigger than 13 pounds from their 152 limit. So the guy literally was dehydrated. There was a weigh-in. The on the night weigh-in they did, which I didn't even know if it was done with him. I think he was actually wearing clothing when they did it. Canelo was, I think, 164 pounds. If you looked into Canelo's history, one fight before the Floyd Mayweather fight, Canelo had come into the Austin Trout fight at 174 pounds. 174. For Floyd, 164. And there was, on record, a rehydration clause. It's out there. The information is out there. It's a fact. I've told multiple people this for a long time. They don't want to believe it. It's on record. Okay? The guy not only came in at a fake weight, 152, which ain't a real weight, right? That's all catch weight. But that's bullshit. Because I think, am I wrong? I think Floyd fought Miguel Cotto at the full weight. I think 154. He fought Canelo at a catch weight, and not only a catch weight, but he dehydrated him. They had a rehydration clause on him. All right? 1 second. All right, so we're pushing this to the limit, people. Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford, the super fight of the generation. Just kidding. It's a not so super fight, and it's coming at you September 13th. But till then, we got to watch guys like Deontay Wilder over here. So Deontay Wilder clarifies his stance on fighting Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk. All right, so he says he wants to fight them, but he's got to get past his opponent tonight. His opponent is a man called Tyrell Anthony Herndon. All right, and they're going to be fighting today. I don't know the time. I'm going to assume the card has probably started, I think. Anybody know the time of that? I'm pretty sure it's 8 o'clock, right? I'm going to double check that. We might have it in this article. All right. Anyway, that's happening tonight. We have the UFC weigh-ins that's going on right now. The ceremonial weigh-ins are going to start up. They haven't officially started yet, but they are coming up. If you guys want to, if you like watching guys get on scales. And look at this guy on the right, Oliveira. The motherfucker looks like the Crypt Keeper. Scales from the Crypt. Okay, now that I've made a fool of myself. All right. What's up, Bacon? We have Bacon in the chat, people. We got some people in here. All right, you guys, if you watched, I don't know if you guys just got in here, but we just come to the end of the Canelo Alvarez Crawford press event, the last one before, the guys get deep into their training camps. All right, what'd you guys think? If you watched it with us, if you watched it not with us, and by us, I mean, the Real Futv, the greatest channel known to man. Remember to subscribe, people. You guys think Crawford got on the, he got a little bit of tainted meat, maybe tainted. He got that tainted. Did Crawford look a little tainted? Is he on snacks? Or, is this chemical warfare? Anyway, remember to subscribe to the Real Food TV. We're going to be going into some little info here. We got some things and some funny stuff going on in the world of combat sports. Right, guys? You guys excited about watching Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr.?
After a back-and-forth battle, Jake Paul edges it with a split decision in the 12th.
All right, so this video came out the other day. This is Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya over here, and he's making his pick for who he thinks going to win the Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Let's see this.
Jake Paul, Chavez Jr., experience or ambition?
Can somebody tell me why he has to thrust his crotch into everything? Can he just not make a pick? Why does he got to bang it with his crotch? What the F?
After a back-and-forth battle, Jake Paul edges it with a split decision in the 12th. Jake Paul, Chavez Jr., experience
Just watch this
or
one last
ambition?
time. Okay, here we go. Why can somebody tell me why this guy got to do this face? Okay, why can't you be normal? That's Oscar's Coke face right there. Hey, how you doing, guys? This is Oscar at the Diddy parties. How you doing, guys? Oh, I didn't know you were gonna be here. Well, if I knew you were gonna be here, I would have worn my pink thong. Wait, we gotta zoom in and watch. Look at this. Why is he gotta thrust his crotch into everything? Right, here he goes. He's like, oh fuck no, I just got out of rehab. Boom. Sorry, people. Sorry. I'm really sorry about that. Man, Oscar, so there you go. There's the fight that's happening tomorrow. The super fight. Jake Paul washed up. Jake Paul always been washed up, right? It's kind of he's not even a boxer. He's a damn YouTube influencer. But Chavez Jr., from what I hear, straight out of rehab, right? We're rooting for him, people. We're rooting for him. All right.
It's the box.
So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna watch some delusional fanboys, Crawford fanboys, and they're gonna tell us about why this guy, Crawford, is gonna beat the absolute crap out of Canelo.
And cool. Reality alert. Like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get it popping. Canelo Alvarez.
One second. I don't know why this is not switching to full screen. This is actually kind of annoying me. One moment. I'll fix this real quick. You see there's that toolbar on the bottom there, and it annoys me, people. I'm possibly slightly OCD. I cannot have this weird toolbar in the video. All right, 1 second. We're going to get that crap off this effing screen. All right. What's crazy is I set this and it doesn't... Windows is trash, people. I set some of these defaults and this thing is just not doing what it's supposed to be doing. All right, I just set it up, but it's not doing what I wanted to do. But before we get into that video with the fanboy... Oh my God, these people, these websites annoy the crap out of me. All right, so here we go. Terence Crawford admits he can't compete at Canelo Alvarez's weight in resurfaced clip. All right, so a couple of years ago, Terence Crawford was saying that he just can't compete at 168, but by magic, he came up and now he's fighting Canelo Alvarez. I saw they have a video around here. I wish there wasn't. All right, I got to turn this off because right now I have a crap coming up. I don't know why. But anyway, we're going to see if we can watch this video. There's supposed to be a video here of Terence Crawford talking about... All right, it's supposed to be there. The link is broken. I'm going to refresh and see if it pops up. No, that's not it. There's supposed to be... Oh, here it is. There it is.
Canelo, and he fights at 168 plus, so I don't see me and him fighting, so...
What's the highest you can fight at, realistically?
I would say 154, realistic.
154.
You know,
So
them boys get big up there. Them boys get big up there. And I'm not a person to, you know, toot my own horn too loud to be able to say, oh, well, I can beat the world. You know, I understand there's weight classes for a reason, and I respect the weight classes. And yeah, I think 154 will be my max, given the age.
All right, so just like I said, people, a guy like this is very well calculated. Men who cherry pick their fights and know their limitations don't do crazy stuff like this. The guys that do stuff like this that are guys that are incredibly, in some ways, delusional, possibly their skills. Like he would have to be delusional of his skills to do this. So I don't know.
There are tons of ways to bet on the big fight with DraftKings
some shit just
Sportsbook.
started.
So many, I'm going to try to name them all.
Where are the F
before
is this
this guy
coming from?
taps out. Submission props,
1
spreads,
second,
same game parlays. Only about a dozen left. New customers bet $5 and get $150 instant bets.
All right, I don't know where this audio is coming from. I'm fixing this right now.
And that moment is now upon us.
All right, 1 second, please. I do not know where this fucking audio is coming from. All right, that was fucking annoying. So out of nowhere, this randomly started a video up. All right. But what we're going to do right now, we're looking at some comments, and we're going to go into that video I was going to show you guys with what I consider a delusional fanboy, all right? But we're going to read a couple of the comments in the comment section. Sorry about that interruption. That really, it actually disrupted me, and it destroyed the whole damn show. I'm lost. I'm lost. But I'm found now. I've found a link, people. But before we get into watching this video, we're going to look at a couple of the comments. And then we got to bring up one of our sponsors. People got to pay the bills over here. Remember to subscribe to The Real Food TV. And if you want to support The Real Food TV monetarily, our Venmo's in the description. You know, find it in your heart to give us at least $100 each. If you guys got $100 or $1. $1's cool, probably. People, I need a cup of coffee. All right. All right. So what we're going to do right now, like I said, we're going to look at some of these comments. But one second, please. All right. The immersion has been broken. My cell phone's glitching a little too. Look at that. There's a little gap in there. It's reflecting. That's annoying. I don't know why that's doing that. I'll have to fix it later. All right. So why is he wearing a banana hammock? All right. So I don't know if I think the banana hammock had everything to do with what? His I don't know. He has his wiener in there, I guess. And maybe he thinks it's cool. It makes him look more approachable to the kids, right? I mean, like perverted, you know, whatever they call them, Zoomers. They probably think that's cool. That gay. I hope Chavez knocks him out. Crawford lost in every conference. Hit the like. Thanks a lot, man. All right, So Passive says, Canelo said himself that Floyd tried to enforce a rehydration clause, but he didn't accept. Actually, he did. It's on record. There was a rehydration clause. He had to accept it, and he did. All right? We're going to watch this video right now. But, like I said, before we watch this video, let's headbang. Wait. Damn it! This fucking link, this thing doesn't work. My gag didn't work because it's just not working. There you go. I had a file in here. It didn't work. But, damn, it's loud in the city, people. Let's do some PEDs. Damn, that helped to bring down the city audio. Tough crowd, people. All right. So we got a sponsor here. Fruity Keyshawn's Racist Fruit Baskets. All right. Fruity Keyshawn. Wow, that's kind of odd. Who the hell approved this? Fruity Keyshawn. Man, that's weird. Just the way he's looking at us. It's kind of odd. All right, this is a big sponsor, people. They paid us a lot of good. Wait, what's up with your lip, bro? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with my lip. Nothing. They sent me this racist shit. I didn't do it. They did it. Okay. We believe you, Keyshawn. We believe you. I like how they made the racist multicolored. It makes it very approachable, right? All right. So it looks like Keyshawn. If you guys have some loved ones that you want to send, I guess, a racist fruit basket, you can go to Fruity Keyshawn's. He builds, I guess, the greatest racist fruit baskets. Okay, and they write letters too for your loved ones. It looks like they got some letters in the basket. Okay, this says, what does it say? Okay, I love you, Bomac. Okay, interesting. Wrote it on some really fucked up crumpled paper. Whoa, this is moving around. That's weird. All right, got to move that. Okay, we got a couple more letters in here, it looks like. Okay, this one is kind of weird. It looks like it was written on something it's on a little note. See if I can read this. It's kind of small, the lettering. It says, I am currently on the move because I have been threatened by his people. I require police protection and no publicity. You will be notified as soon as he is arrested. That's bizarre. I don't even know what that means. We got another letter over here. Looks like there's one more in here. Keyshawn writing a lot of letters. I don't know if we need that many. I just need a letter, for my loved one. I don't know. These don't make much sense. What's this one? Here's a snack for all those might or height jumps. Stay energized. 4102 businesswoman, I guess. ... I don't know. Businesswoman? They do call him the businessman, don't they? That was bizarre. But there you go. That's Keyshawn. I don't know what's up with the fire and all that. It's kind of weird. Sorry if that was too loud. That's kind of weird. I just got to say it, Keyshawn. But we're happy that you're making, you've kind of like taken that whole thing you did in that fight, sending that basket to yourself, I guess, is what it seems like. You seem to have a skill for creating racist fruit baskets. And we salute you, sir. This guy's got a real, it looks like he got a booming business outside of boxing. When his boxing career is over, this guy, this is some crazy stuff. We wish him luck, people. I'm pretty sure Martha Stewart is going to be all over this. She's going to rip him off, people. I feel like racist fruit baskets are going to become all the rage. Thank you very much, Keyshawn Davis. You're amazing. All right, but with that said, remember, once again, subscribe to The Real Food TV, the greatest channel known to man. You're watching Skills. Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford, press conference 3. This channel truly is a KO. right, people, we got some other topics, and by other topics, I mean the same exact topic. We're talking about Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, the not-so-super fight that's coming at you. We're going to be watching what I consider a delusional fanboy. I found this video the other day. I thought it was kind of funny. This is getting passed around on the internet lately. You have this image of a Canelo. I mean, that looks bizarre, people. That looks fucking creepy. You see, like, it's like a Canelo on the ground with a dent in his head. That is beyond, that's not just bizarre, people. That's fucking creepy and scary and actually very, like, I think it's fucked up. I feel like if the shoe was on the other foot and they were passing around a visual like this of Crawford, people would probably say, that's racist! Or they would say whatever else. That looks crazy. That looks so violent. But anyway, let's see this. You got a lot of copium out there. I feel like in a lot of ways what you see with what Terence Crawford is saying, the whole thing of the fanboys are going to be crying, right? The Canelo fanboys. But I think in reality, because he's the one saying this, right? He's saying how he's going to knock him out and all that. And yeah, Canelo said he's going to knock him out. He predicts that's the way the fight's going to end. But he's not up front, right, in this guy's face like he is. Crawford's up front with it, and he's saying it over and over again. He says he's going to make the fanboys cry. But I think it's going to be the other way around, right? I feel like it's most likely going to be Crawford who's knocked out. And I think if Canelo comes in here to prove a point, he might actually put this guy out early. But let's see a fanboy.
Boxing Coop, reality alert. Like, share, subscribe. Now let's get it popping. Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford.
Come on, man. Cook. Overrated Canelo.
Have a undisputed match coming up September.
I think that's just kind of funny. You're going to call Canelo overrated. Look, if you're going to apply this analytics to boxing, right? This analytical mind, why aren't you applying this to, Terence Crawford, right? Why wouldn't you talk about his career? No. You're just going to completely bypass his career and then talk about how Canelo is overrated. Why would we apply this to Crawford, right? If you're going to be fair. But let's watch this. This guy's got some things to say, some stuff to say, and some things to do. I don't know. He's sitting in a car. I hate when videos do their videos in cars. When videos do their videos in cars. People, I didn't sleep that well. I just let you know that.
The 13th of 2025. And it's going to be real. And my pick is Terence Crawford. And I'm going to tell you.
Of course it is, you racist. Does this have something to do with Terence Crawford's color of his skin? You love him for the color of his skin, you racist. He's fucking racist. I can see it in his eyes.
Tell you why. Terence Crawford, over the years, have fought good elite opponents.
Good elite. Which one is it? Is it elite or good? It's got to be one or the other. It can't be both, right? It'd be like Muhammad Ali. He's the greatest of all time, but he's good. He's okay. He's good. He's the greatest of all time. He good.
Now,
you gotta pick one or the other, okay? Okay.
Alvarez can sit and nitpick about Crawford's resume.
Yeah, he's well. You could say nitpick, but you could also come on. Look. Terence Crawford cherry picks. Why don't you ever call him out on it, bro? But come on, man. You cook him.
One thing for sure is Canelo is known for ducking. Now, to say Canelo has fought.
Oh, well, Crawford didn't need to duck anybody because everybody in the division who was fighting him was washed. Also, he's ducking as well. He ain't fighting the top of the top, right? Top competition. Look, the guy's almost 40. He could have picked some of those guys out and had fights at 154, right? But he chose not to.
A lot of elite fighters is asinine because Canelo, known throughout his career, is being a duck. Because me personally, I know why he ducked Demetrius Andrade.
Oh my God! Out of all the guys to talk about, Andre. Why wouldn't you bring up the fact that he took years to fight Triple G? Oh no! Sorry. See, these guys are just like pretty clearly, in a lot of ways, possibly racist. Like out of all the hats, the names to pick out of a fucking hat, you're gonna first pick out Andre? Who the guy they call Doodoo Andre? Why wouldn't you say Benavidez? Oh, because I guess he ain't. You know what? He ain't. You son of a.
He do too. He know Demetrius Andrade's style is terrible for him. It's a bad choice for him. It was a bad fight for him, and he did the right thing. And
all right. So he don't like this guy's agreeing with ducking. He a duck, but he did the right thing. So what is it? Do you dislike ducking or you're okay with ducking? This guy's all over the place.
Features Andrade, but in reality, Canelo is not in
reality, Canelo, he's sexy. I like you and I want you. I'm just saying, he just seems like he would say that.
As people are saying he is. He's not, because if
this man is cooking.
Was elite, he would have fought David Benavidez.
There you go. But he comes second to Doodoo Andre, right? Why would you bring up the guy that Benavidez beat the fuck out of? Why would you? I mean, you bring him up first. Why not Benavidez first? We know why.
Canelo out aggressively for at least 2 years, 2+ years. And David Benavidez is a tough fight.
But people, I'll tell you this is absolute deflection, right? Because let's look. Canelo Alvarez came out at this interview and he said, you ain't fought nobody elite, Terence Crawford. So you would think, look, he's picking Terence Crawford. The argument was about the elite fighters. Why aren't you pointing out the guys that Terence Crawford fought, right? And you just go through their records and then talk about what they were at the time that this guy fought them. Because I've said this to people, I've said so many times, I know it gets a little annoying, it really does, except, I mean, the greatest show ever. These guys were never elite. The guys that Terence Crawford was fighting were never elite. They were at best B-level fighters. They were B-level fighters. Some of them kind of close to edging towards C-level. Sean Porter in a lot of ways is like a C-level fighter. He's not that much better than an Andre Berto, right? A guy like that who I consider like a C-level dude. He's okay. He was an all right fighter. What made up for Andre Porter was the fact that he was a ball of energy. But by the time Terence Crawford got to this B-level Porter, the guy, you could call him a C or D-level fighter because he was at the very end. He wasn't. Not only was he not there psychologically, not only was he not there physically, but he wasn't there psychologically, right? He was already retired, and this is what this guy's whole career is. This is why when you watch this interview the other day, there's a very important detail that people gloss over. Canelo Alvarez says you never fought anybody elite. So why, out of all the people, when he asked this question, why would he gloss over guys like Spence and Porter and Khan? Guys that people might actually say were good, even though they were all washed. He glosses over them. And the reason why, and then he picks out of the hat, he picks out Postal. Out of all the guys, Postal, this is really what this guy thinks. He thinks Postal was elite, right? And what he's telling you there is he's telling you that he knows for a fact that those guys, he doesn't consider those great wins because he knows they were washed. So I guess Postal was the most sort of prime, or a guy who in his mind was dangerous. Maybe it was a fight that he never wanted, but it was brought onto him, right? There's something really important there. The fact that he didn't name those other guys who are more universally known, right? Guys like Amir Khan, Brooke, Spence. These guys are big stars. Even at the press conference, they asked him this question, what was his best win? And he said publicly, the public sees that Spence fight as his best win. And I think he knows that guy was all fucked up. Probably rehydration clause, brain damage, everything. He knows this guy in a lot of ways. This is hitting a nerve on him. And so when he goes to the weigh-in or the press conference, the third one, Crawford, and he's trying to puff up his feathers and kind of turn all red with anger, right? Like, I'm offended. He knows deep down inside, or not so deep down inside, that Canelo is correct in a lot of ways. And I think really that's what it is. But again, if you're going to apply analytics, right, to both fighters, why would you just harp on Canelo instantly? Why are you deflecting from the point Canelo made? So you should build a stronger case for why Crawford that he actually has fought elite fighters. Instead of doing that, he just starts the conversation with, Crawford, he fought some greats, he fought some elites, he fought some good fighters, he fought some elites. And then boom, straight to Canelo. And then we're just going to harp on Canelo. You should have started with Crawford and actually attack what Canelo said about Crawford, right? Instead of going straight after Canelo. Because this doesn't have to do with Canelo. Just talk about Crawford. I mean, I don't know how you win your argument of how Crawford's fought elites by giving us 0 examples. And then you say, he fought good fighters, he fought elites. He fought the best fighters who ever lived. But Canelo over here, he dug David Benavidez. Well, at the end of Canelo's career? Yeah, I don't agree with that. But look, this guy's been... in a lot of ways, Canelo ain't what he was. He's not. And I think he knows this. And that's probably another reason why he didn't fight Benavidez. And Benavidez, believe it or not, is a style that I don't think Canelo's ever fought. I think to me, in my mind, David Benavidez he is like Margarito 2.0. And this is a style that this guy's never really fought. The closest thing he ever had to it was like a trained to death Chavez Jr. or even maybe in some ways Angulo. But those guys, they're not like on the close to the level of David Benavidez, people. David Benavidez, to me, I wish he stayed at 168 because he is I feel like the future of that division. He really is. It sucks that he went up, and we can clearly see that he can't crack an egg at light heavyweight. And the reason why he can't, people, is because he's not a light heavyweight. He's a 168 pounder. That's where he's best. You see, he's in the best shape, and he punches at his best. He's at his best. That's why you stick to a weight class, people. You don't move up where you're weaker, right? You stay where you're strong, okay? And the people who call him a weight bully, come on, people. We saw Plant at the weigh-ins. He looked like the damn crypt keeper. He's next to Benavidez. He looks worse at the weight than Benavidez does. He looks all sucked in and like he's dying, right? But let's hear some more of this guy's amazing breakdown.
Bad style matchup for Canelo Alvarez, too. And the reason why I say Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez is because Crawford is a bad style matchup for Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez don't know how to cut the ring off.
Well, which is a thing that these guys are all passing around. Bro, you're looking at, again, they keep looking at this fucking Floyd fight from like, what is it? Over 10 years ago when this guy was 23, right? I mean, that fight's like 12 or 13 years ago or something, right? The guy's learned. He's fought. I'm sorry, I keep reiterating, but I have to effing do it. Remember to subscribe to the Real Food TV, people. If you haven't been here before, then you don't know that I'm reiterating. But the guy's fought many styles, fleet-footed fighters, and you've seen in multiple of these fights, he's fought multiple guys. Right off the top of my head, you got Austin Trout. He's a mover. He beat him, right? It was a close fight. Young Canelo, right? What, 22 years old? It's a very high-level fight for a guy who's like 22. Then he fought Floyd Mayweather, who's another mover. Canelo did cut him off at times, but Canelo's drained to death. He's not fleet-footed. Canelo never had fast feet. But now he's having to cut the ring off versus a guy who runs everywhere, who's on all kinds of sauce, most likely. Canelo drained to death. I'm just going to wipe that Floyd shit from the record because it don't mean shit. It really doesn't. This guy was compromised. Who fucking cares? Then you have Lara in there. Lara's one of the biggest ones. Canelo caught Lara with some shots. That fight was, a lot of people say that Lara won it, but you have to admit, even if you believe that the fight was incredibly close. Now, if this man can't cut off the ring and catch this runner, then how the fuck did he hit Lara so many times that he was able to get, a possible draw in the fight? Like I'm saying, you gotta keep in mind that the fight was close. Even people that say that Lara won, you gotta admit that the fight was fucking close. All right. That's another guy, Lara, right? Now he's fighting this guy, Skull. They're like, oh my God, look, he can't cut the ring off on Skull. Well, guess what? Skull lost almost every fucking round of that fight. All right. Then he's fighting Charlo. Charlo's a mover, bro. Didn't this guy drop Charlo? Did Charlo drop Canelo? No, he didn't. All right. You also got to keep in mind, Madrimov is not a very fast-footed fighter, right? He's not very fleet-footed. Now, he's got some good pep in his step. He can bounce around. He changes his levels. He does a lot of things that's very good. To me, he uses too much movement. But Madrimov, with his slow feet, had a very easy time cutting off Crawford, right? He caught him up on the ropes a couple of times. He was catching him with shots, right? I'll tell you this, Madrimov ain't better than Canelo Alvarez, people. Now, he does have some attributes that I would say are maybe superior than Canelo, but Canelo is a more seasoned pro. He had some good amount of amateur experience as well. Canelo's he's cutting the ring off. He does it all the time. If a guy's back is touching the damn ropes, then they're getting cut off. There's multiple times in the Berlanga fight. Berlanga ain't a big mover, but he did move around. He got cut off. He was up on the ropes getting beat on. He got this other guy, like I said, Skull. He caught him a couple of times. He's fighting this Charlo's running fucking everywhere. He's knocking him down with shots, overhands, gets the guy, got him on the ropes multiple times. If you're running away the whole fucking fight, what is he supposed to do? The point is that he's cutting guys off and he's hurting them. This whole idea that he can't cut the ring off is absolute bullshit. The guys just, again, they're not actually analyzing any of this shit. They're just making it up. Look at his Skull's in there. He's running the whole damn fight. He can't cut the ring off. Yeah, and he's losing every fucking round almost. There's a case to be made that Skull lost every round in that fight. Now, I gave him 2 rounds because it landed punches. Right? He landed some punches. But he very clearly lost the fight. You cannot win a boxing match running like that, especially in Turkey's real world of boxing. Now I hope what Turkey does next is I hope they start giving these guys DQs for this fucking running. And it's not the running, for the holding. Because that's one of the biggest issues is all this excessive holding, guys clinching for their lives. You need to get that out of boxing.
Flat-footed. He uses the same combinations, and he's slower. He's not a very quick fighter. Now, granted, he does have power, so Crawford will have to watch out for his power. But other than that, Crawford got it in the bag, man. And I'm just waiting to hear what the excuses is going.
I was going to bring up, look, like I said, Madrimov is not very fast on his feet. He's got some good movement, like he moves around a little. He's kind of, he can bounce in and out. He's a guy, dynamic movement. He's more dynamic than Canelo. But Canelo does have the ability to cut the ring off. I've seen him do it. He can step in and dart to the left, dart to the right. He could be very plotting and then move it and kind of dart around. He can do it. He doesn't do it a lot because it's really not his style. That he is usually in his boxing stance. And look, if Madrimov can nail this guy with shot after shot after shot, and I'm talking about Crawford, right? Madrimov is nailing this guy over and over again. Straight right hand to the head, straight right hand to the body, left hooks. He's landing all this. And keep in mind, Canelo has longer arms than Madrimov. Okay, he has longer arms, and he really does know how to cut the ring off. And so this guy said, oh, he's going to be fleet-footed and slippery. They think he's going to be Floyd. It ain't going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. There's almost no shot in hell this guy's going to do it, especially if he comes even heavier. Because you got to keep in mind, when he was at 154, he was already kind of maybe too heavy. He might have been overdeveloped for the weight. Now they're saying he's going to bulk up, and now they're expecting he's going to run around like Floyd. Floyd Mayweather, people, came in the Canelo fight, I think, at 150 pounds. I think on fight night, 150. This guy over here is jumping all the way from 147 all the way to 168. And we're expecting him to move like Floyd, which he couldn't even do at welterweight or any weight before that. Okay? So they got to stop making this shit up, trying to make this guy, mold him in their mind into being something that he's not.
When Terrence Crawford beat him, because Terrence Crawford, whether people want to admit it or not, at the time, Victor Postal was a problem. A lot of people don't.
Victor Postal, the guy who has realistically only 11 knockout wins in an almost 40 fight career. The guy has 37 fights and he has 11 knockouts versus mostly bums. I said it in a post the other day. Victor Postal, really, one of those wins, his biggest win, people, Victor Postal, was a win he had versus Lucas Matisse, a broken Lucas Matisse who had been through multiple wars. The guy literally had the guy's face, his skull was broken. He was in the Victor Postal fight. He had a hard fight versus Danny Garcia, right, who basically broke his skull, right? He got a broken orbital bone. Then he comes in, he fights Ruslan in a war, probably sustains more injuries. Right after that, I think it was immediately after, he goes and he fights Postal, a notorious pillow puncher. And I think he's actually winning the fight, and I'm pretty sure he re-injured this. He had this injury on his face and he got re-injured. So this guy over here, Postal, literally won a vacant title, beating a guy who was already broken down, who pretty much almost retired right after that fight. I think he fought Manny Pacquiao for one last payday. He probably thought Manny was completely shot. Manny showed him he wasn't and beat the shit out of him. Beat him a million times worse than Postal did. And so they're going to build this Postal guy up. This Postal guy, people, never was elite. Never was a great fighter. At best, he was okay. He was an okay fighter. And he himself never really proved much. Okay? But the guys all want to live on that Postal shit. Even Crawford brought that up. He said, yo, what Postal wasn't elite? No, he never was. Never.
Victor Postal. Even Danny Garcia, in which Danny Garcia ducked Terrence Crawford too. And a lot of fighters over there.
Danny Garcia. Because this bum was calling out a washed up Danny Garcia. Dude, not everybody wants to get fucking cherry picked. They're like, Danny would know better than almost anyone about cherry picking. All right. They literally used to call this guy Cherry Garcia. All right. He ain't fighting no Terrence Crawford. He knows he's at the end of his career. Danny Garcia is an incredibly inactive fighter. He might as well have retired years ago. He would just come in and use boxing like his little piggy bank. The guy was washed. And so that's just yet another case of this guy, Terrence Crawford, calling out another cherry, right? Oh, I'll take Danny right now, coming off of his Lara loss. That'd be a good time to fight him, right?
at the PBC, they want to say, well, Terrence Crawford ain't got the names on his resume. It wasn't because Terrence Crawford didn't go after the fighters. He actively pursued the fighters in the PBC, but the matchmakers in PBC knew that Terrence Crawford would mess up the money. That's why they made
you know that's complete bullshit, right, people? I'm pretty sure these guys had no problem making these fights. He never came forward and made them because he didn't want to make them. He had no problem fighting cherries over there at Top Rank. And when he left the promotion, right, Top Rank, what did he do? Did he fight all-time greats? No, he was too busy cherry picking. First fight, Avanesian, right? I think it was Avanesian was the first one. I could be wrong. Actually, I think there might have been some more cherries after that one. So he leaves Top Rank and fights some cherries. But he ain't no cherry picker. And then he goes to 154. Instead of making a super fight, what does he do? He fights the lowest level 154 pounder he can find. That's what he did, right? That Errol Spence, he knows that Errol Spence shit was garbage. Even Terrence knows that. That's why when they asked him, what's your greatest win? He didn't even bring that fight up. He didn't bring up Amir Khan. He didn't bring up Brook. He didn't bring up Porter, right? He didn't bring up none of them. No Khan, none of them, because he knows that all that shit was Khans. Those were Khan jobs. In a lot of ways, this Canelo one this is just possibly one Khan step too far.
They divided the street and they started promotional gangbanging. And Al Heyman and them over there at the PBC knew who Terrence Crawford was, what he would do. And people like to say that Errol Spence was too big for the division. He stayed at 147 too long. They said that the car wreck had messed him up, and the fight would have been closer, or Errol Spence would have beat Crawford before the accident. And I don't think so, because Errol Spence is a pressure fighter. He's a come forward fighter, and Terrence Crawford is known as a counter puncher. He's an excellent counter puncher, and Errol Spence make a
excellent counter puncher versus who? Versus who? Who did he test these excellent counterpunching against, right? Everyone's excellent when they're fighting bums, right? Or washed up fighters. Now, if he fought a great fighter, right? Or a very high level fighter, then I'd say, man, maybe there's something to this whole counterpunching thing. But he's in my book, he's definitely not a great counterpuncher. Really isn't. He makes loads of mistakes. Maybe we'll look at a little bit of that before I get out of here.
A lot of mistakes in the ring. And the fighters that he was fighting, they let him make those mistakes. But not with Terrence Crawford. He capitalized on all the mistakes that Errol Spence made in the ring. And that was the difference in the fight. It wasn't the car wreck, and it wasn't him standing at 147 too long.
So you see this, people? This guy is now trying to dismiss the fact that this guy was in a car wreck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this here, because this guy is what we thought, an absolute fanboy for Terrence Crawford. He's not going to point out any of the facts about this guy cherry picking basically his entire boxing career. Now, we're not going to say any of that. And then we're going to go and we're going to dismiss the fact that Errol Spence was a shot fighter at the end of his career. He literally has never fought since that Terrence Crawford fight, and that fight was like 2 years ago, all right? Again, I said a billion times, the guy in 2019 was rumored to have been in retirement. He was done. He sustained most likely massive head trauma from this car accident. So now this guy fights a guy with head trauma. I know we're going to give him all the credit in the world. Yeah, that's so much better than a guy who just fought Munguia, right? A young guy. Or a guy who just fought, the guy who fought all kinds of people, right? Like I said, even Saunders is a better fight than this washed up Errol Spence or this washed up Amir Khan or all these washed guys, washed Brook. When you go through Terrence Crawford's career, it's just washed up guy, washed up guy, washed up guy. This guy, I think he even fought John Molina, right? Is this his name? John Molina. He fought people, no joke. This guy didn't only fight a bum named John Molina, but he fought a washed up John Molina. Am I right? Is that this guy's name? I'm pretty sure that's John Molina. But look at him over here shutting his damn eyes. I told people about this. This guy's going to get knocked out. Look at it. He throws a left hand and he closes his eyes. Like, why? Because you see how a punch come in? That's not normal to be closing your eyes all the time. You know that good fighters usually, they can actually take a punch and keep looking at their opponent. This guy gets hit with a badoink and he closes his fucking eyes. So what do you think happens when Canelo pokes him with the left and then rocks him with the right? Because when he hits him with that left, people, he pokes him with it, he's going to close his fucking eyes and he's going to eat that right hand full force. Boop, boom. And he's just going to touch, Boom, and here comes the right straight down the middle, right? And we saw in the Madrimov fight, that's one fight ago, that this guy's getting nailed with right hands. Keep in mind, Madrimov's hitting him, maybe not at 100%, right? But he's hitting this guy clean with right hands. You got to keep in mind, one thing Canelo does, another thing he does better than Madrimov is he steps in with the shots better. Madrimov is literally leaping into position. He really is. He hits the guy while leaping in. Yeah, he'll give him a touch and a poke. Canelo will put his front foot forward and step into the shot. So he'll hit him with a little touch with the left hand, shooting in and really close to the ground. You know, the technique's better than Madrimov. The way he steps in with the touching left hand, and boom, here comes the right hand, and it drives right through the target. The guy's got longer arms than Madrimov. So look, if Madrimov, kind of a noob in the pro ranks, can do it, then obviously Canelo can do it. Right? He definitely can hit this guy. People look, like I said, look, he closes his fucking eyes. If you could get him to do that and just touch him, he closes his eyes. You do that left hand, boom, boom, 1-2, right? 1-2. And the right hand goes right through this guy's face with that more weight on it. This guy's probably going to go down. He's going to get dropped. I see him getting dropped. All right? These guys are imagining he's just going to come in here and beat the shit out of this guy. But keep in mind that once again, this guy's, he can't even fight washed up. He can't even fight bums at their best. He's fighting a washed John Molina, right? That's some crazy effing stuff. But we're going to get into some more news, people. Little bit of news. All right, we're gonna look at some news, some news and some thingies and some stuff. All right. So we're gonna watch just a tiny highlight, just to show off Canelo, just a little bit more.
Talk about the fact.
All right, and then we're gonna maybe talk about the UFC event. You guys like the UFC? UFC, they got a decent card tomorrow, and the main event is gonna be Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria. Could be a good one. Could be a good one. I don't know who wins. To me, that's a 50-50 fight there. We're going to watch a little bit of this. I'm going to get out of the full screen. Here's Charlo, a guy who came up from 154. I don't know if I showed this in the last video. We're going to watch a little of a Canelo skills he got. You know, light. He's kind of light on his toes here. The guy's shooting in the jab, kind of a touch, relaxed. He's missing that left hand. Again, I said in the last stream that this guy's, he's more slippery on his toes, right? Here's the touch. Double jab, steps in, hits him on the arm. A lot of times he actually aims for the arm. I don't know. I guess he feels he's going to tire him out. This is the same thing he'll do to Crawford. Same thing. Nothing too fancy. Crawford, again, people, look. If you're seeing a guy's back touch the ropes like this, then obviously you're doing something right. Again, Crawford's not very good at using lateral movement. This guy's getting trapped up on the ropes. He don't want to move laterally, I think, is because he's afraid of circling into a hook. This guy tends to throw these big looping hooks. Not the best thing, but look, if you're not very good at punching with the guy, he's going to be cutting you off with these shots. He's going to stop your movement. So he's stepping in. There we go. Double jab, stepping right around the guard. It shoots around. Crawford does not have a very tight guard. Shots are very often going around that guard. Okay? Look at this. This minor kind of feints. The jab comes in. Obviously, Crawford usually fights in a southpaw stance. But Canelo is also very good at clipping the shots off, pairing them off with his left hand. So, and also Canelo's biggest punch is his right hand, but he has a very good left hand. So if he was to parry down your jab, which Crawford's going to be throwing most likely a right-handed jab, Canelo's going to pick it down most likely, or be out of range for it. He's going to try to catch him. The reach difference isn't too huge. I mean, look how strong this guy is. This guy shoots him for a grab. He pushes him right off. This is not a very small man, people. This guy's saying that Crawford's equal size. You've never seen Crawford this big. If he was to get this big, he would have to do a fucking fuckload of PEDs to get this big. Again, he's trapped up on the ropes. That's people. What, you think he wants to be on the ropes eating overhands? Overhand, left hook to the body. If this guy's back is hitting the ropes, he's definitely cutting him off, right? He's cutting that ring off. There he goes. He's circling there. I mean, all we're seeing is highlights of this guy up on these ropes. And we go into commercial. They tend to do this with YouTube shit. You guys know this already. You know, this whole idea that this guy can't cut off the ropes I think it's kind of stupid. It really is. All right? 1 second. Okay. So how you guys doing tonight? Got a little story here. We're not going to read too much into it because it's fucking retarded. All right. Is Canelo versus Jake Paul the biggest fight in boxing? I would say no, it's not. It's garbage. Wouldn't shock me if Canelo took it, but It's garbage. There's recently an interview with Jake Paul, and he spoke about this fight. They were saying that, oh, Jake, you know, you haven't really done anything. You haven't fought any high-level fighters. And this guy actually had the nerve to say that dudes were ducking him. He made it out like Canelo ducked him. He says, oh, well, I was gonna fight Canelo. And I'm saying, like, bro, that doesn't prove that you're not a damn coward. What the fuck? Why are you trying to fight Canelo? Canelo is a much, much, much smaller man. Keep in mind, people, Jake Paul today for the Chavez fight came in at 200 pounds. He came in, he cut down to 200 pounds. You could see him on the scale. He was sucked in a little bit. So this guy is literally cutting weight to make 200 pounds. This guy's got at least 30 pounds over Canelo Alvarez, 30 pounds. He's also a punch and grab bitch. So even if Canelo wanted to step in the ring with him, this guy would create the most trash fight imaginable. He's fighting this guy that he has a huge size and weight advantage over and reach. And he's going to be, what, shooting in for grabs, throwing overhands and grabbing the guy. He's going to try to go 12 rounds grabbing this guy. Now, I would pick Canelo to fuck this guy up royally, but still, it's not going to be exciting, and it's a fucking gimmick fight. It's stupid. And it would I really think Canelo, for whatever, you know, whatever legacy he has left, I think it would be a terrible idea to fight a guy like that. That is just not the guy for him. Really, the real legacy fight for Canelo at this point, what I believe, and most fans, boxing fans, I think, or purists would say, is that he should have fought David Benavidez. But what I hear is that Turkey is trying to set that up. Benavidez says the ball is in Canelo's court. At the end of the day, him and Turkey can make all the arrangements in the world, but it's going to have to be Canelo who okays it and says, yes, I'll fight him. All right, Veronica in the comments says, am I late for Oscar's underwear intro? Damn it. You gave me a good idea there, Veronica. I should have started the show with Oscar De La Hoya's underwear. But what, you want to see Oscar's underwear? Okay, here, I'll give it to you. I've got to please the ladies.
Experience or ambition? After a back-and-forth battle, Jake Paul edges it with a split decision in the 12th. Jake Paul, Chavez Jr.
It's so weird the way he say, hey, Jake Paul, Chavez Jr. Did he really need to crotch thrust it? I said it earlier. It's just kind of weird.
Experience.
He seems so excited to do that. It's like he's like, I've been waiting all day to do that.
Or ambition.
And he looks like there it is. I showed it earlier. Look at his face, people. This is what Oscar looks like at the Diddy parties. Like, look, you just enter the room and he's all like, hey, how's it going? I didn't know you were going to be here. you want a drink? And this is, he's like, oh God, I just got out of rehab. Damn it. Whoa!
After a back-and-forth battle, Jake Paul edges it with a split decision in the 12th.
I'm sure that's not the first thing Jake Paul has edged. All right. Now, sorry about that. That was freaking disgusting. Anybody that's just come in here, remember, you're watching the real Futv. You're watching Food Sports Live. Skills paid the bills. Tim Bradley. I don't know if you know, people, Tim Bradley right now, he's getting back his beach bod. He's back in business. From what I hear, I think the guy's actually getting a divorce. We wish you luck, Tim Bradley, even though you're kind of a race-baiting piece of trash. But I've seen some of his videos lately. He seems like he's changing his ways. He's turning over a new leaf. All right? All right. So we're going to look at some of this. We got a couple more files over here, people. All right? We got a video here. I don't know if we watched it the last time. Bomac coming out recently saying that Canelo Alvarez knows how to lose. I hate to lose. Well, he knows how to lose because he's actually had fights. Actually, we're not going to watch this whole video because we watched this on a previous stream. But Bomac said that Canelo knows how to lose, which I find funny. I mean, maybe Crawford's downfall would be he doesn't know how to lose. But the thing is that Crawford, people, he's a cherry picker, people. So he doesn't lose because he keeps picking cherries, right? All right, got some links here. Just going through some stuff that I didn't get into the last stream. All right, so I'm curating some of my files here. We got Jeff Mayweather, and he is talking about this Terrence Crawford fight. All right, we're going to watch a little bit of this.
All right, here inside the Mayweather Boxing Club with Jeff Mayweather. Appreciate you, sir, taking the time. Can you focus on me, please, sir?
What a great interviewer, huh? Can you please focus on me, sir? What a rude bastard. Not, I'm talking about Jeff. He sees this fucking guy setting up an interview. This guy's over here itching his ass. I mean face. Sorry.
Trying to work. Respect the job. Respect the craft.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I mean, they know each other. This dude is a disrespectful bastard. He should go in that ring when this guy's doing pad work with his fighters and steal the pads out of his hand and say, "Get out of my way, Jeff. Let me show you how it's done, bitch."
Recently, Canelo was interviewed talking about his fight with Bud Crawford. He said Bud is actually better than Floyd. What do you think about that?
Maybe he is. I mean, but the one thing is this. You would always say,
Oh my God, we got a troll in the comments, people. Can you please curse this guy out? I'm getting, I'm joking. All right. Hey, fight in life. Someone has hurt you and torn your butt apart. I'm kidding. Fight in life says, yeah, Canelo is a cherry that Crawford picked. I think it's going to be the other way around, I think that's really what's going on here. This is why Crawford looking a little bit sad, you know? He's looking a little sad. He's like, don't kill me, please. I hate to lose. I hate to get my teeth knocked out. All right. Love the honesty, Fu. Thanks a lot, man. Got punched. Damn, Crawford's a boxer, and he punched. What terrible skills. And he punched? What? Canelo is going to knock him out cold. Why do black people have white palms? Because they're a little good in everyone. Nah, that's not true. The truth probably is closer to the fact that they, a lot of people don't know this, but they don't know this. The skin color, your dark skin and eyes and your features, all those things are an adaptation, right? They're an adaptation. So when that sun hits your eyes, it creates pigment, right? It's like almost kind of like a form, I guess you could say, evolution, right? So these people have been, they're in the sun a bunch, so the body adapts. You see this in many different countries, right? This is what Darwin saw, right? You have these different birds and these different animals that adapt to their environment. And so this is what we do as well as humans, right? And so you'll have Asian people like Manny Pacquiao, and he's darker than, another Asian person in a different area. It happens, people. It's just adaptations. But what's funny is that they have those white palms, which maybe that's why they call people colored, right? It could be. You could maybe see it that way. Maybe that's one of the reasons. They might have just been white at some point in the past, right? You could see it that way. Most likely that is probably what happened, because like I said, the brown eyes are a adaptation to the sun. It's your body just kind of like adjusting to your environment. All right, so we're gonna look at some more of these comments. Oh, we got El Barbarino in there. Barbarino says, "Foo! Truly the greatest channel known to man." She says that, and she is not being biased. Obviously we're not. She's on location right now, people. Bob is on location. She's in Mesopotamia. I think that's how you say that. All right. So she's not saying this just because it's our channel. All right. All right. What's the go with Granny's bra on his head? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Why is he wearing we already read that about the banana hammock. I think that's about Oscar De La Hoya. All right, we're going to watch a little bit of Webster. Is that the name of the show? The show with Gary Coleman? What you talking about, Willis? We got Willis. He's going to talk about the Crawford fight.
That somebody that already beat you is better than the person that you're fighting, because you want to make yourself look like you're going to beat somebody that's better than everybody.
Well, also, if we remember, Canelo...
these guys know all about manipulation with words, right? Manipulating the public, right? So he knows all about it. So he's saying it. Why does his hair look like it's like grass? His hair looks like grass. It's weird.
That time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And in that...
Now that guy says they scored it for Floyd, of course.
And that was a Floyd at the top of his game.
Just to tell you people, that Floyd Canelo fight, even though Canelo was drained, fight was absolutely fucking terrible. I remember Freddie Roach coming out and saying that he actually fell asleep during the fight. He said it was fucking, it was terrible. It was a terrible fight.
With a very green Canelo with very little experience. He's
very green and very dehydrated.
He took him, into deep waters, so.
Yeah. What was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23? 25?
Yeah, he was, very, very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
he had more fights than Floyd. This is what this guy said. Canelo had more fights than Floyd versus who? Canelo had fought almost nobody up to that point, people. He fought an old-ass Baldomir. It's probably one of his biggest wins at that point. And then he fought, I guess you could say, Austin Trout. Those were like his two biggest fights. He fought an old as fuck Shane Mosley. The kid didn't have that much experience. He had some fights probably by low-level guys, very low probably. But as he got older, he started fighting more high-level guys. And a lot of people wouldn't really give him that much credit for fighting these older fighters. Like, look, I never even bring up the Shane Mosley fight, right? Don't even bring it up. But as a young guy, look, he's fighting this veteran. Floyd Mayweather's fighting Shane Mosley in his prime, an old Shane Mosley. Canelo's fighting he's fighting almost the same version of Shane Mosley Floyd fought when Floyd was almost in his prime. Well, not almost in his prime, in his prime. He's fighting Shane Mosley in his prime. Canelo's fighting the guy when he's barely, what was Canelo, 20? He was like 20, 21 years old fighting Shane Mosley, all right? He's doing the shit in a lot of ways at a higher pace than Floyd did. Floyd's over here fighting this guy at the end of his career, but Floyd's, now he's in his prime. Canelo, I wouldn't even say Canelo was in his prime there. I think Canelo was in his prime probably when he fought Triple G. That's when he hit his prime, I think. Or when he fought Cotto, probably, somewhere around there.
And that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
are you at the top of your career in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Oh, shut the fuck up. You ain't in your prime, when you're taking all kinds of fucking chemicals, PEDs, you got this fuck all drained to death, you got natural abilities, and you got this guy drained. They'll never say that. What this interviewer should have said is, what about the rehydration clause, bro? What about that? That's what he should be saying. Well, Canelo was drained as well.
Did he lose?
Your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for
which is actually complete bullshit nowadays. These fighters don't fight nobody in their 20s. Yeah, and the guy was in his very early 20s. Very early 20s. Your prime usually is not in your 20s, or it's towards your mid-20s, I would say. But if you're not getting pushed quicker like guys used to be pushed, then your prime is not going to be in your 20s, right?
People.
I think Canelo really started stepping into his prime right after the Lara fight. I feel like that's when it really started happening. And then, soon after that, he fought Triple G and all that stuff.
Okay, well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Don't you?
Want to make himself look like he did something.
Just so you guys know, this guy came out, Canelo Alvarez came out, and he said that he thinks Crawford is better than Floyd Mayweather. Now, you got to keep in mind, I don't think he is, but Crawford has certain abilities that Floyd doesn't have. For example, he has punching power. He has some punching power. He definitely has more than Floyd, but you could say it's sort of arguable. You can argue it because this guy's also had loaded gloves. Oh, wait a second. Wait, give me a second. What the hell's going on here? People are laughing. It's true, he had loaded gloves. What are you laughing about? Wait 1 second. The guy had loaded gloves, but you could tell he has some punching power. He has more knockouts on his record than Floyd does. And he has reach. He has some reach. He has a pretty good chopping and a nice, decent right hand. And he's a southpaw. You got to give that to him. He mostly fights as a southpaw. Floyd Mayweather had huge problems with southpaws. Well, another thing that Crawford has over Floyd is that Crawford's kind of more of a ballsy fighter, not when it comes to picking his fights, but the way he fights in the ring. He is at times willing to stop and trade with you, right? He'll take one to land one. He's shown himself to do this. And a guy like Floyd is a guy that actually likes to, many times he would leap straight in. This is why if you watch him in the Manny fight and some other fights, he's actually getting hit on his approach in when he shoots in. And Crawford, I think if he was fighting this guy, he would be trying to hit him with stuff. Also, Crawford is also a fighter who likes to move around the ring a little bit. He's not always the bull. Most of the times he is, but He does move around, and this is something Floyd is not really accustomed to. He likes fighters to run after him. So there's a lot of layers there, and that I could, if they were ever to fight, if they were, in their back in the day, if Crawford was, they were in the same time period, then I could totally see Crawford beating him. There is a possibility there that Crawford could have beat him. So Canelo views this guy as being better than Floyd. This guy can't handle it. He hates that idea. But technically, when you look on paper, it's some of the details of this guy's career. You could kind of say that, and some of his attributes.
One thing he said too, or two things he said were kind of surprising considering that's what Floyd's known for. He said, one, that he thinks Bud is a more intelligent.
Mars in the comments says even Floyd said, "Name me the champions Canelo fought during the All Access show." Yeah, I mean, what champions did he fight at that point? But I feel like it doesn't mean that much. This whole thing of, what champions? Like, everyone gets a trinket nowadays, right? Everyone gets a trinket. Floyd, he'll line up all these titles on the table, and you have all these people going on about Floyd, who fought this many, about this number of champions, right? But they don't tell you the part where they were ex-champions and they were shot, or they were never very good, right? He fought a long line of ex-champions in an era where everyone gets a trinket, right? And there's belts flying everywhere. And a lot of the guys didn't even have belts. I don't even think they had belts when they fought him. And if they did, it didn't matter because they were all not great. Like, Floyd was a guy who fought in welterweight and dragged up smaller men, right? He brought up Ricky Hatton. He brought up Marquez. He fought guys that he never should have fought, guys like Andre Berto, Robert the Ghost Guerrera, Victor Ortiz, right? He's fighting all guys, he's fighting these low level fighters. Those guys were not great fighters, right? They were not even close. This is why, and Floyd was never great. This is why a guy like a Chino Maidana could come up and give him the fight of his whole fucking life. Chino Maidana, people, was at the best a B minus fighter, maybe C. Well, I would have said C plus, but he was basically a B level fighter with some good power, right? And Floyd took all his power away, put these big pillows on him, and then he fought in the most cowardice way possible. In reality, in the real world of boxing, when you actually follow the rules of the sport, Floyd Mayweather should have been disqualified in the second Maidana fight. And if you scored the fight correctly, Floyd should have simply lost the first fight. So in my book, in the real world of boxing, the way it's supposed to be scored, Floyd Mayweather literally lost 2 fights in a row to a guy that at best is a C minus fighter. Okay?
Intelligent fighter.
So is Floyd elite? He's an elite cherry picker. I'll give him that. He has elite hand speed for singular punching. Not combination puncher. He's not a great combination puncher. He was decent at singular shots. He had, his connections were very good. The way his hands and feet were connected, right? His movements were very clean. But he was not a great fighter in many ways, right? He was a good fighter. He was a good fighter. He was very good at cherry picking as well. He was an elite cherry picker.
And he said Floyd has better let me get it right. Crawford has better defense. Would you argue with either of those points?
He didn't have better defense. I wouldn't say it, but like I said, sometimes this stupid defense really equates to defense first style. Crawford doesn't many times. He doesn't have a defense first style. If he thinks you can't really hurt him, then he's going to trade with you. Floyd does not trade with fighters. He runs and he pot shots and he runs again. He catches you off balance because you're constantly chasing and he uses off timing, right? You're coming and chasing and coming at him, then boom, out of nowhere, he stops, boom, hits you one shot, and he's gone again. That's what he does. And he doesn't throw combinations in that way. He doesn't blitz you the way Bivol does, because then he could get hit. And also, I'll tell you this, Bivol got better foot movement than Floyd does. People wouldn't like that, but Bivol, if you shrunk him down and he fought Floyd, he would have fucked Floyd up royally, because he's moving around, which Floyd is very bad at moving forward. Now, again, his technique's okay with some of his punches, like a jab. He throws a nice, good stabbing jab to the body. It's nice, quick, and snappy. But a guy like Bivol would be peppering him in the way he steps in and out with his shots, and he's blitzing you with these long-reaching shots. He does what Amir Khan does. In a lot of ways, Bivol is like Amir Khan 3.0. He's just a way better version of that. He's just a very refined blitz / ambush fighter. And he can hit you with singular shit and fuck you up. He's just, come on. Floyd ain't even the best at this kind of style of like, almost in a way kind of, because that's what Floyd is, right? The pot, we could call it a pot shot, or we can in some ways call it an ambush, right? Because the guy's coming in and he hits him when he doesn't expect it. He's not in his boxing stance, and he's getting basically hit off balance, I would say, right?
No, I mean, I ain't gotta argue about that. Anybody knows that.
1 second.
Crawford's a great fighter, but his defense is not better than Floyd.
So you didn't say anything about the intelligence, so you're conceding that point then?
What do you mean?
You said the
He's an intelligent fighter. I mean, yeah, he's intelligent too. He's just as intelligent as Floyd is.
Well, there you go. Are either one of them as intelligent as you?
Huh?
Are either one of them as intelligent as you?
That's my dad. Yeah.
Born with my dad.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm.
Fighter in Life says 3 times undisputed Floyd. And who is he undisputed against? You tell me that. Were they all prime? Were they all great? Were they all elite? You tell me. Fighter in Life, you tell me. Where were these great wins that made him 3 times undisputed? Why was he cherry picking? Why did he wait over 7 years to fight Manny Pacquiao? Why did he not fight Miguel Cotto when he was in his prime? When Cotto was in his prime at his best weight? You know, there's Costa Zoo. There's a lot of guys that dude did not fight when they were in their prime. He literally ducked Amir Khan, prime Amir Khan. He lost to Chino Maidana twice. No one can tell me different. You could say all you want, but according to the rules of the sport, Floyd Mayweather never beat Chino Maidana. Never. He was outpunched. The ring general was Chino Maidana in the first and the second fight for the most part, right? This guy's getting pushed back the whole fucking time, and he just keeps clinching in and grabbing. Excessive. Over 70 clinches in that fight. If that was any other fighter, they would have been disqualified. You also look at the fight with Ricky Hatton. Who the fuck was Ricky Hatton? This guy took a guy who was a 140 guy, right? And they tried to give this dude all this credit, right? Like he was the one. Actually, the guy that really showed how to beat Ricky Hatton was a guy named Collazo, not Floyd. And guess what? Collazo did a better job of punching Ricky Hatton up. He was more reactive. He was smashing him with that right hand. This guy fights him after Collazo fights him, but makes him come up to, I think actually that was Hatton's first fight there, right? He drags Ricky Hatton up to 147, and he fucking struggled with him. Floyd Mayweather, this elite great, is struggling with Ricky Hatton. And this is prime Floyd Mayweather, right? He's struggling with him, right? I put money a guy like Jeff Horn would have gave Floyd nightmares. He would have given him fits. That guy probably would have struggled with Jeff. He probably would have lost to Jeff Horn, right? Like I said, this guy struggled with Ricky Hatton. In a real world where boxing is properly, where the ref actually enforces the rules of the sport, in real boxing, not Floyd Mayweather rules, Floyd Mayweather would have been disqualified in the Ricky Hatton fight.
I'm controlling the interview, Jeff.
How the fuck can you call a guy elite? Let's just get on that argument. Let's just go through it and say elite. If Floyd Mayweather was an elite fighter, he would have never struggled with Ricky Hatton, especially with the fact that he had brought him up in weight, right? He didn't beat Ricky Hatton at his best. He beat him at a weight that he really didn't do shit in, right? Manny Pacquiao got Ricky Hatton at what, 140? Ricky Hatton's best weight. And he blew him out in less than 2 rounds. Now that's elite.
Appreciate you respecting.
Do it.
Not necessarily that language. So you think it's more of a Bud trying to build, Canelo trying to build Bud up?
I think that in order to make himself look like he beat someone that's better than Floyd, of course he's going to say all that.
All right, so he's saying all this stuff. He's going to say, of course, he said this. Let's hear just a little bit more, and then we're going to go and we're going to look at something else.
Great things about him, and then that makes him bigger than what he is.
Which for that, that just shows you how smart Canelo is, because you always hear people say, when they go into a fight, it's like, oh, so-and-so's overrated or they're not good. Yeah, why are you putting down the guy you're hoping to beat? You want to make the person you're going to fight look as good as possible.
Yeah, because, the thing is this, is that, don't make it, you fighting a guy that came up from 3 weight classes, so don't make it look like you really beating somebody if you do beat him.
This is the guy, your nephew, bro, brought Marquez up. What was it? 2-3 weight classes he brought Marquez up? And he built that shit up. He supposedly beat Manny Pacquiao. I don't think he did. But Manny Pacquiao came up from many weight classes, and he was an old man when he fought him. And I thought he still lost the fight. He fought this fuck Manny Pacquiao. This guy was he was a workhorse, Manny Pacquiao, right? And now when he fights him, the guy he didn't blitz anymore. He wasn't a blitzing fighter like he was at his best. He's not throwing bunches of punches. He's throwing singular punches, and when he hurts you, he'd rally on it. So Floyd did not fight the best Manny Pacquiao, and even that not prime Manny Pacquiao, far past his prime Manny Pacquiao. This is the greatness of that guy. Far past his prime with a shoulder injury, still beat Floyd. Isn't that crazy? All right. So they've interviewed Terrence Crawford after the weigh-in. I don't know why I keep calling it a weigh-in. After the press conference, we're going to watch a little bit of this and see what he has to say. Terrence Crawford trying to act a little tougher, but I think at the end, when they did the face-off, he didn't look as confident, all right? He looked like he had a chip on his shoulder. That's what it looked like to me. He tried to get a little angry in there, right? But we got to show our sponsor one last time before we get out of here. We're going to go on a little bit more, but we got to show this. We got to pay the bills around here, people. We have to. All right? 1 second. Got to read out here. We got Fruity Keyshawn's Racist Fruit Baskets. Anybody want to? Wait. We got two songs playing in here. We're not supposed to be playing two songs, right? All right. Fruity Keyshawn's Racist Fruit Basket. So it's on the corner of Floyd Avenue. It's right across the street from Sweet Hands Plants Massage Parlor. You guys need any kind of racist fruit baskets? That's a place to go, people. Are you excited for this product? That's Fruity Keyshawn's Racist Fruit Baskets, right? That's kind of a weird idea for a business, isn't it? Racist fruit baskets? But they're going to call you the N-word? They're going to call you the S-word? The K-word? Is that what he puts in there? He writes notes for you as well. He does write them. I've been told he uses automation, but it's sort of his idea, right? All right, so thank you very much for that sponsorship. We're going to be very wealthy because of these sponsorships. But remember, with that said, remember to subscribe to the Real Food TV, the greatest channel known to man. All right, people, if you want to support the page, hit the damn like button. Do it now. Hit that like button and send us money. We're poor. Our Venmo's in the description for the video. All right, we're going to watch some Terrence Crawford over here. Maybe he's living in copium, people. Maybe he's living in copium. Maybe he's confident. We don't know. But what we do know is that him and Canelo Alvarez will be fighting on September 13th. It's going down. The not-so-super fight. Will they die? Who will die in that ring? Let's hear this guy.
God don't make mistakes. It's the reason why he waited all this time to put me on this stage with another all-time great like Canelo. With two Hall of Famers going head-to-head, and one of the biggest events in the last 20 years. I'm looking forward to it.
Why is it important for this fight to be held here in Las Vegas for the first time at Allegiant Stadium?
Well, hey, why not? Vegas is home it's the Mecca.
All right, this is kind of annoying me. Give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can find this damn phone. I'm sorry, this is a kind of awkward looking thing that is just going up and down. Damn it, my hand is fucked up. Just imagine I have a bionic arm and it's completely out of control, all right? I think I see it. I'm trying to fix this because I know it's my OCD or whatever. There's supposed to be something behind here. Let me see if I can fix this. I got weird stuff going on here. Sorry, people. All right, let's hear Crawford.
Like boxing, so why not have the first fight at Allegiant Stadium, Terrence Crawford and Canelo going head-to-head?
I hate when he talks about himself in the third person, right? 1 second, please.
Look at you and Canelo. What do you see in him that will present a challenge for you to overcome to get the win here?
I don't know. We got to see.
1 second.
We can't predict the things that's going to be a challenge for us because we never been in the ring with him. So,
is there anything that impresses you about him though? The fights that you've watched?
Everything impressed me about Canelo. I'm a big Canelo fan. This is business. Like I said in the last press conference, I'm coming to take everything we got.
Terrence, why'd you step Sam on the second face-off?
All right, sorry, people. I'm trying to fix that screen. It really annoys me how that's not lined up correctly. No, it's slightly OCD. I probably should have used a different mode so you wouldn't have to look at this weirdness. But anyway, let's read some of these comments. We got Mars in there in the comments. He's got some fruit, watermelons, and bananas. That's pretty messed up, Mars. That's damn racist, people. You know what I got to do when people get Come on, people, don't be racist. I don't think it's actually racist. It's just fruit. That's Fruity Quichons. Remember to go to Fruity Quichons. Racist fruit baskets. It's a great product, people. Great product. We're eating some of those fruit baskets today. Me and Bob. It tastes a bit weird. I got to admit it. They're a little bit fruity. They're a little bit obviously, they're going to be fruity. They're made by Quichon. That and the fact that they're fruit. Anyway, I bet Jeff Mayweather gives Floyd all the credit for bringing up Marquez, though. Exactly, Marge. Just like I said, you agree. Floyd got lucky. He was before the YTBC. Nobody would take a champion serious who dictates his opponent's gloves. Exactly. He's not going to bring that up, right? Right, Earl? He's not going to bring up the fact that his nephew made these guys wear pillows. He dictated the fucking gloves. Not only people, we all know it. Spread it. Spread it. Like Keyshawn spreads his legs. Sorry. For Bomac. Oh, God, it's gross. This show's disgusting, people. Sometimes I disgust myself. This is a kid's show. I think sometimes I do act a little bit like a beta. I do. I got to stop with these shitty jokes. I'm kidding. They're not shitty. I need to continue with these jokes. They're all amazing.
You're an idiot. An energetic idiot. But an idiot. You're an idiot.
Okay. All right, Mars says, Futv, I love. I guess it's a watermelon and bananas. Exactly. Who doesn't like watermelons and bananas? That's a great setup for a great fruit basket, right? Keyshawn knows how to make a fruit basket. He also knows how to make a racist one. Just saying. All right. Why didn't Crawford back down Canelo again? Why didn't Crawford back down Canelo again? Nervous energy. Exactly. Yes. I mean, he's not going to. You're right. That's why I predicted that this guy, Canelo, might actually hit this guy. I mean, he's done it before, people. He's done it. He's hit people. He hits people. Not like John Jones hits people, right? He hits pregnant ladies. Says Crawford probably hits his wife. I'm kidding. I don't know about that. Maybe he does. He got those crazy Ike Turner eyes. I got to say that. So I'll just make an educated guess and say that. Nah, I'm kidding. I don't know what he does. I'm not going to say that. But he is friends with guys that kind of sort of rabbit punch women in the back of the head by accident while they're trying to beat up their boyfriends for defending them because they're getting sexual advances thrown at them by a random stranger, right? That's a good guy there, Crawford. He's got some good friends there, right? All right, we're going to go read some more of these three. I saw that already. I think we read all these already, right? Okay, so we got some good comments in there. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll be looking at some more of your comments in a minute. Bud by KO are unanimous. I don't know about that fighter in life. You should make a video. Do you make videos? If you do, I will watch it. I will watch your breakdown on that if you really think that's going to happen. All right? But with that said, let's listen to a little bit more of Bud. This Bud. You're going to beat him, boy. You got this in the bag. You're going to kill him. You're going to kill him. You're just too good, too skilled. This is why my dream off is punching your damn head off. Hercules.
Oh man, there's some things that I heard, that I wasn't, happy with.
Terrence, we always ask fighters after a fight, we'll say, who's next on your mind? Or
I'm not thinking
I'm not going to
that.
ask you what I was going to say is, now that this match is made, can you tell us how long you've been thinking about this fight?
Well, I've been thinking about this fight before I moved up to 154. Like I said, I want to go straight from 147 to 168 because.
Hey, what's going on with this guy's lip? Does he have like herpes or something? What is he? Is he like Oscar De La Hoya? It looks like there's something weird going on with his lips.
It never been done before. Fighters have went up 2 weight classes. But
maybe he's got a scar there. I don't know. Just a kind of suspect. All right, we're gonna listen some more to Kendrick Lamar.
I think any fighter have went from 147 to 168.
I mean, people, look, we just saw the interview a little while ago. This guy straight up says that he has no intention of going up in weight and that he really cannot compete with Canelo Alvarez. He says he can't compete with anybody at 168. He says it's not his weight. And now he's doing this, but now he's confident out of nowhere. What the F?
Pound for pound, top 5 fighter like Canelo in the history of the sport of boxing.
He had to go at your resume.
I just think, we have to see. When you're in the ring, when you think that you have certain strengths over a fighter, it don't be like that. That's why you got to make your adjustments and you got to, change it up along the fly.
What's the biggest challenge when you made up to 168? Do you plan to build bulk up a little bit, and is there a balance to find between bulking up in quickness and keeping your speed and stuff?
I don't think I'm having any challenge, you know what I mean, with any of that right at this moment.
Terrence, how do you feel about the noise surrounded by Jake Paul, him consistently going at Canelo and yourself and the whole build up to the fight?
Oh, I ain't even here. I don't pay attention.
He's most likely trying to build up his own fight. That's why he's trying to talk shit about their fight. I mean, Jake Paul is an absolute fraud. Not too big on this interview, but we'll watch a little bit more and then we'll see something else.
Things like that, you know. Congratulations on Jake Paul and his career, what he's doing with his career. Just wanted to draw attention to his fight.
All right, so Terrence Crawford, he said exactly what I said. He's trying to draw attention to his fight.
That's all. That's how I take it.
Exactly. He says that's how I take it. That's an intelligent breakdown of that, right? Opinion of that, obviously, because I said it too. The guy's amazing. You want to know who's also, well, this guy's self-proclaimed intelligent, okay? We're going to watch a little bit of this. All right, we're going to watch a little bit of what Oscar De La Hoya had to say the other day about this Canelo Crawford shit. Oscar De La, this is on a channel called Ego Boxing. I've shown his stuff in the past. The guy thinks he's really hot shit. He definitely does have an ego. I saw him in this interview. He was saying something about how people are imitating him. Come on, people. I'm being imitated, Ego. You just have an ego. What are you doing? He sits in a room with multicolored lighting. Have we never seen that before? You know how many times I've seen guys do that? All right, so we got him doing his breakdown of Oscar De La Hoya. So we're in a lot of ways, what we're doing right now is we're doing an impression of an impression. All right? Let's do it.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, and you haven't built a star in the UFC in 5 years. Maybe do your job and stop jumping ship. Because the UFC is in billions in debt. I'm rich, Dana, Canelo,
All right, we're going to go back just a little bit. This is an interview that Oscar put out recently. Like I said not too long ago, this guy over here, people, Oscar De La Hoya, is putting his foot in his damn mouth. Sorry about that. There's always a billion ads. He's doing exactly what I said he shouldn't do. He's coming out there. I guess he's got some problems with Turkey, and he's burning some bridges, right? That's what he's doing. So we're going to watch a little bit of this. We're doing an analysis of an analysis, all right? Live on the Real Food TV. Remember to subscribe and hit the like button. We love you.
We want bad blood. We want anticipation. We want to feel like an actual war is about to happen.
All right, so this is Oscar De La Hoya's response to the guys having dinner together. He thought that was kind of weird. And I said the same thing. One of the people in the comments was talking about this. They brought it to my attention. I had seen the picture, and I thought when I saw it that that's kind of suspect. I don't like that. That's how plans are made, you know, in the background. They're made in secret, but not so secret, right? Yes, we don't know what was said, but we see the guys sitting together. That makes me think that maybe there's some wheels turning when it comes to business. Maybe Turkey had some plans, and maybe this is why maybe this is why Canelo's coming out and he's saying, yeah, Turkey, I know he's your man, right? Because maybe Turkey wanted this guy to lay down on the ground, possibly. I told people, and by this guy, I mean Canelo, right? They're talking about 2 fights, possibly 2 fights, a rematch. Turkey let it slip recently. He said there's going to be a rematch. He said, oh, yeah, rematch. But Canelo looks like possibly he's not on board with that, right? I don't think he's going to want a rematch. Or maybe he has a little more self-respect. But I said it earlier in another stream that I thought it was really bizarre when Crawford and Canelo first met at Turkey's house. Behind them, there was a statue of the Ali-Sonny Liston fight. I'm going to show you this real quick because this fight is one of the notorious fights in the boxing world as being a fixed fight, right? I think it's the Sonny Liston. Give me 1 second. I'm going to type it in. All right, so we're going to watch a little of the highlights. People said a lot of people said that this was a dive throughout boxing history. So we're going to watch a little bit of this totally not fake fight. But yes, there was a statue behind Canelo Alvarez in Turkey's house of this fight. Okay? There you go, Ali on his toes. And why do you? And it's just kind of symbolic, right? Maybe he's kind of telling the public that he wanted to have it fixed, right? And my guess, this is just speculation, people. My guess is that Turkey wanted Canelo to take that fall, right? It makes perfect sense because he's the guy who most people I think would say that Canelo's most likely going to win the fight. So he would be the guy to take the fall, right? And so you make it where either he gets robbed or maybe he gets robbed, right? And maybe Canelo didn't want it. This is why you see Canelo at the press conference, and he's straight up telling Turkey right to his face, that's your, what does he call him? He called him his nephew, I think. He called Crawford Turkey's nephew, right? And he's saying that because he's saying, yeah, I know you want him to win. And how does he know this? Right? What, with the interactions they had with each other? Or maybe Turkey asked him to do something, right? Possibly he asked him to do something, and maybe he turned it down. That's why he said Turkey's going to be very disappointed, right? I don't know what it is with this Turkey guy, but maybe, like I said, maybe it has to do with a money thing more than anything else. I don't think this Turkey guy really Crawford's friend. But he did let it slip that he does have a little bit of a weird thing going on. He says he's kind of, the guy's very race driven. But I'm going to guess maybe there's a financial bend to it, because recently he was in an interview and he says that boxing needs a black heavyweight champion. I mean, that's kind of fucked up to say. Why can't we just have the best at the top, right? Whoever is the best heavyweight right now is the heavyweight. Why are you bringing race into it? And what's funny is if guy came out, a promoter, said we need a white heavyweight champion, everybody would be up in arms. Well, certain segments of the public would be angered by that, right? We need a white heavyweight. There is no, wait, I can't do Turkey's voice. There needs to be damn it, Crawford, we need a white heavyweight champion. Kill him. And by kill him, I mean AJ. Well, I don't know why he would kill AJ, but he has to because he failed. He failed. Well, actually, we do have a black heavyweight champion. One of them is Dubois, right? Doesn't he have a title? He has some titles, doesn't he? So we do. Well, what the hell is he talking about? I guess he means like undisputed. Either way, the guy said that, and I thought that was kind of weird. Kind of racist! All right, so we got Ali on his toes.
Clay takes the lead at the start, as he did the night he won the title.
All right, so they got this dramatic music, which is kind of funny, I think, right? It's kind of cheesy in a lot of ways. It really is. All right, so we got Ali. This is totally real fight. Kidding. I don't know. But a lot of people, the speculation was that it was a fixed fight. Yeah, Ali moving around, using some movement, jumping in with the grab. There he goes, tapping his head, just dancing around, right? Throwing some feints, circling left. A lot of movement here. But what people don't know is, look, even though he is using movement, he's close to the target. Target's never too far away. The guys, you always hear these guys talking about running, right? Yes, you hear these runners and they call it boxing, and then they bring up Ali as an example. But look at the distance that Ali creates here. He's not too far away from the target. Like, he could always step in and hit the guy, right? He's at almost arm's reach. He's changing the angle. He's right there. Look, he's circling him laterally while being close enough to hit him with something. These guys today don't do that. They literally run away, and their back's hitting the ropes all the time. I said, right? A lot of bullshit going on here with Ali. He slips the line and he stabs into the body. But we're going to see what happens in a minute. A lot of movement here. All right. But yes, once again, this is the fight that a lot of people thought was fixed, and this was the statue that they had behind Turkey All the Chicken. All right, I might actually skip ahead because it's going on for a long time. We're going to watch the knockdown. There it goes. There's the shot right there. Ali slips one right hand. And then there's some weird shit that goes on here. He goes down. The person that put this video together is really trying to dramatize this, Some of the people said that Ali was angry that this guy took a dive. So look, he's on the floor. He's like, oh, what do I do? I don't know. Oh, Ali's jumping up and down. Whoa! And look how he gets up. How do you roll around on the ground like that? Like, you're all fucked up, right, supposedly? But then you're able to roll around and all this, and you get up like nothing even happened, right? He took a punch, but it ain't nothing big. He literally puts himself on the floor, rolls on his back, rolls down. Supposedly Ali was talking a bunch of shit. Probably the guy, my guess is that he was supposed to lay down, right? He was supposed to quit. Because the speculation was that the guy was, it was like a mob. It was illegal betting. It was the mob involved with it. And he was supposed to take a dive. But what's interesting is that Ali was talking a bunch of shit to him. And so he got up. And look how he gets up. A guy who's rocked doesn't get up like that. Look, his legs are completely here, right? Here we go. I don't know what the hell they're doing right now. He says, continue. I don't know. I think I lost my... Is that my keys? And then Ali throws a bunch of punches. He doesn't land a single punch. And they end the fight. So my guess is possibly this guy, maybe he changed his mind and the referee made up his mind for him. Right? Look at this. I like how the ref turns over here. He's like, what this motherfucker didn't... This guy didn't quit. He was supposed to lay down. The ref's like, hey, wait, you got my car keys? I've been looking for my car keys all day. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. You got my car keys? Oh, give me a second. I'll be right back. You continue. And he's like, whoa, miss. It's over. Ali's like, what the fuck? Even Ali's like, what? I didn't even hit him. I hit him with one punch. You saw that? He's like, what? When the referee pulls him away, he's like, what the fuck? Look at the look he gives. He's like, what? Well, sort of. They pick him up. So that was it, people. He went down from the one punch. He gets up completely fine. Guy evades all the punches. They stop the fucking fight. They're like, you dumbass, you were supposed to quit. You know how much money I have on this? Mars in the comments says Turkey loves the melanin, man. I mean, Turkey has melanin as well. I think I have melanin too. You know what I think of when I think of melanin? I think of Fruity Keyshawn's racist fruit baskets. It doesn't really roll off the tongue, right? But melanin, by melon, I mean melons. Those are some delicious melons. Right? I don't know if Keyshawn's too much into melons. I don't know about that. Maybe the herpes says that. Is that herpes, Keyshawn? Is that herpes? Hopefully not. Let's get back into some herpes. I mean boxing. But thanks a lot, guys. You guys, you really do get... This was a good sponsor. Really is a great sponsor. Ali over there pulling off the upset win. Just kidding. I don't know. I don't think that was an upset. But it did look a bit odd and suspect. But we're going to go back into another guy who's suspect, similar to Keyshawn. Just kidding. I don't know. I don't know the guy. But his name is Ego. He's a guy on YouTube. No disrespect, Ego. But why are you wearing a winter hat inside? Your head must be really hot. All right, let's listen to some guy, Ego guy. Okay, what's up with this?
Dog walk, y'all. So enjoy brand new Clapback Thursday. And your boy Ego, I must talk about it. Y'all knew this was coming, so enjoy the video. I will get set up and I'm going to dog walk y'all. So enjoy.
That shit became so annoying. I think I heard Caleb Plant say it one and now everyone says dog walk you. It's like, oh Lord. What it dude really does have an ego how he says that. I'm gonna dog walk y'all.
Now Oscar De La Hoya, he's been kind of on fire with the little clapback joints. And we shall listen to what De La Hoya has to say. So he did a brand new one about Canelo. Roll the clip.
It's that time of the week again. Time for the only segment that gives you the facts and makes you laugh. It's Clapback Thursday. So the ridiculous promotion of Canelo Crawford has given me lots of good ammunition. Ooh, first, let's take it back to last week when this photo was taken of Canelo and Crawford having dinner together. Like they're best friends. I love you, man. They're buddies, like they were family friends. I mean, can you imagine Muhammad Ali or like Joe Frazier having dinner together? What? Can you imagine?
Well, actually, supposedly Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier were actually very good friends.
Mike Tyson and Mitch Green before a brawl? Hey, wow. What the fuck? No boxing fan wants to see two fighters having dinner together.
We could have a dinner on Wednesday night.
We want bad blood. We want anticipation. We want to feel like an actual war is about to happen. Not fucking caviar and champagne together while they're staging their trilogy. Jesus Christ. Alright, so after their dinner date together, Canelo and Crawford said on the press tour that I think started in Riyadh, New York, and Vegas. So here's a clip of their shit talking.
I'm very excited for this fight. We'll see. We'll see.
That's late, right?
I should do that next. I should put that big ass. You see my subscribe button? You see this little thing I got on the screen? This guy. I should start putting this giant one on the screen. Wait, I'm gonna do the ego, the ego thing. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna wait. Where the hell's my subscribe? I'll show you this right now. This is what I'm gonna do. Hey guys, can you please subscribe to my channel? Here. Wait, subscribe, please. Subscribe. Remember to subscribe. I don't want to put this in your face or anything like that. Can you please fucking subscribe? I'm not going to try to like force you into subscribing or anything like that. I don't want to be all, you know, I don't want to suppose that you want to. Come on, guys. Come on. Just subscribe. I don't want you to subscribe. Wait. But let's watch this ego video.
Oh, and Canelo elaborated on his career plans.
Maybe you will see me in the WWE.
Okay, great.
All right, people. Can you please subscribe already? Can you fucking subscribe? I asked nicely. I started when you heard me. I asked nicely the first time, right? It's not like I'm not begging for subscriptions. Can you subscribe? Subscribe! Do it now. Do it now! You son of a... I'm kidding. But I'm not. I'm looking in your eyes. Like Ike Turner. Like I'm looking in your eyes the way that Terrence Crawford looked at Shay Shay. Looked in Shay Shay's eyes with the Ike Turner eyes. When he talked about his wife saying, what does your wife have to say, Terrence, about you cheating on her? He's like, I do. What'd you say, Shay Shay? I do what I want in my fucking house, Shay Shay. that was like, whatever. All right. Let's get back into this video. Sorry about that.
Canelo, but please first, before you fight The Undertaker, can you please fight David Benavidez? No. And here's the moment where the script told them to shove each other.
All right, I don't think that there was a script that told him to do that. I think Canelo was irritated. Let me just fix my subscribe. I made it too big. It looks a lot like how Ego Boxing would have his. I really hope this isn't... Oh, right in the middle. I'll fix that later. It is a bit annoying there. All right. I'll put it here just so it's not too intrusive. You know. All right.
I mean, come on. Anybody
But yeah,
else?
people, remember to subscribe to the Real Futv, the greatest channel on demand. It is pretty amazing. It really is. Just do it.
Not buying this drama. Nobody got time for this. Crawford, if you want to actually make Canelo mad, just tell the truth about him and his tainted meat.
And Canelo failed 2 drug tests?
And when asked what time the fight will take place,
I don't know.
My good friend Turkey al-Sheikh gave an answer that left everybody puzzled.
What are we looking at here?
I mean, I'm sorry, Turkey, but what they just...
Yeah, people, that's my tainted meat truck. Ego didn't create that. Ego probably has a fucking team of people making his stuff, all right?
Say.
I don't. It's just me and Bob. That's it. We are Futv, people. The greatest channel known to man. Remember to subscribe. All right.
So is the fight taking place in the afternoon?
Maybe not today.
Or is it taking place in the evening?
Maybe not tomorrow.
I just all want to know.
Bruh.
Because if it's in the evening, that means Dana White will have to choose whether to be present at the UFC Noche in Texas or the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And when confronted about his plans, Dana White simply chose to be the Neanderthal that he is, dodging the question and calling me a douchebag. I mean, it's ironic coming from the guy who's a fucking walking billboard for affliction. I mean, we can all agree, if you look up the word douchebag, in the dictionary, Dana White's photo pops up. Dana went on to say he enjoys working with Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, but won't work with lunatics like De La Hoya and Bob Arum. So in other words, Bob and I know he's a junkie and won't work with him. And I can only assume that Al Heyman feels the same way. I hate him. Oh, and Dana, you can call me anytime, brother. Because I have lots of great fighters to make great fights with. Oh, but shit, wait. You don't have any fighters. What? And for God's sake, dude. Man, get a big...
It's true what I said, people. I've said this in many podcasts ago. Oscar has a talent. He has a talent for finding talent. This is why it's going to be hard to eliminate him from boxing. Right? That's what he does. He finds talent. They're going to need some great talent scouts to kind of outdo Oscar. But he's always finding them, right? That's the thing. That's why they can't get rid of him. This guy, he's died and resurrected. Right? PBC almost killed Golden Boy. But the guy's still there. That's the thing. But I really do think Turkey will be picking up a lot of these fighters because he's going to be paying them really good money. So it's going to be hard for guys like Oscar to really... I'm pretty sure he will be able to stay in the industry, but he's going to have to be competing with a superior product, I think. Because look, if you got these promotions, it's this simple. You get some very good up-and-comers or up-and-coming fighters, right? and these guys try to lock him into contracts. They'll say, hey, you'll make $1 million a fight at the most, or $2 million. Turkey comes over here. He's got money to burn. He brings these guys in and he says, you're gonna get $700,000 for this fight, but if you win in impressive fashion, we'll throw another $2 to $3 million on top. Who do you think they're gonna go for? And then they throw him a fucking $100,000, $300,000 KO bonus on top of that, right? Or they just mess around with money and slide it around. Oscar cannot do that. So these guys are they're gonna do that in order to get a stronghold on the industry. Like I said a while ago, Dana White and his people are masters at getting a stronghold on different markets. These guys, this ain't just the UFC. Because keep in mind, Dana White was already cutthroat. This is why this makes perfect sense that his company aligned with the WWE, who are notorious for being cutthroat businessmen who corner markets. That's what they did on pro wrestling. They bought out all their competition. These guys, the UFC, in many ways, have followed the WWE playbook. We're going back, decades now of following the WWE in every single way, all the way down to their cutthroat business practices. So this is what they're gonna do. This is why it's crazy that Oscar's over here like Tony Montana, right? Don't fuck with me. That's what Oscar's doing. Give me 1 second. Oscar's over here and you got all the fucking dudes coming to his house. He's like, no women, no children, man. And he's in there. They're coming in there to kill him, people. That's what he is. He's sitting there with a table full of Coke all over it, right? I think he's over that, right? The Coke. But he's Tony Montana minus the Coke. That's what he is. And he's sitting in his mansion right now talking to, what's the guy's name? What was his name? Lopez or whatever? He's like, I told you not to fuck me, Tony. I told you not to fuck me. That's who Oscar is. But it's a little different because Turkey was like, I told you to fuck me, Tony. That would be Turkey. Anyway, let's listen to this.
Shirt, fucking tight, maybe some slacks. Get on blood.
What's funny is that Ego starts going on saying this thing about people imitating him, right? And what's funny is in this interview, Oscar De La Hoya literally says Dana White needs to take high blood pressure pills and stop wearing clothing so tight. You want to know what's funny? You want to know who called that out? Me and Bob did a few days ago when we did a breakdown of that press conference. But this Ego guy comes over and he starts saying they're imitating. Obviously, they're imitating me. All right, let's watch this.
Man, get a big shirt, fucking tight, maybe some slacks to make great fights with.
Let's hear that one more time because me and Bob were saying all this shit.
Shit, wait, you don't have any fighters. What? And for God's sake, dude, man, get a big shirt, fucking tight, maybe some slacks. Get on blood pressure meds or something. Whatever you need to look.
You see, he said the same thing me and Bob said the other day. We were making fun of Dana White because he was sitting in a chair outside, right? When they did the press event, the first one they did in New York City on a rooftop, and Dana White was sitting there on a chair, kind of like for some weird reason he was like cupping his ass, and he was wearing no shirt. He was wearing a shirt. That would be funny if he wasn't wearing a shirt, right? No, he was wearing a t-shirt and it was fucking freezing. You can see everybody had a fucking coat on except for Dana White, right? And he's wearing this tight ass clothing, right? Very tight clothing. Both tight on his ass and his upper body. So me and Bob called this out. We said he should go on blood pressure pills and he should wear some looser fitting clothing. Oscar De La Hoya is literally saying exactly what we said. Maybe he just, maybe he's saying that, maybe we're thinking the same. But this guy Ego takes the credit for that. He's like, they're just copying me.
Behave like a fucking human being.
Well, I can't.
Oh, and you haven't built a star in the UFC in 5 years. Maybe do your job and stop jumping shit. Because the UFC is in billions in debt. I'm rich, Dana, Canelo, fuck you.
That's definitely a clip to make, people. That is an amazing clip. Oscar De La Hoya, you are a man. This guy's got some balls. Like I said, he's sitting there with no cocaine, but he is like the new Tony Montana. No women, no children, kid. What do you say? What did he say? I told you, man, I told you. It's like that, right?
Dana, Canelo, fuck you.
Amazing. Fucking amazing. Amazing. I am going to commercial, you fucking asshole. It's immersion breaking. We're talking about boxing, not weird sea tanks. I don't know what the hell. What do you got? Battleships? You sunk my battleship.
Wow. Now, De La Hoya just went in. I mean, he had a lot to say, so I kind of want to pick and choose the parts that I really want to address. But I wanted to give it to you unfiltered, uncut, because some of you guys haven't heard it. If you like this style of video, there's a lot.
What style of video, bro? What style of video? You sitting in a chair with glasses and a fucking winter hat on in a room with multicolored lights? All right. Hey, if people like that kind of video, I guess I could start making those kind of videos. It ain't that hard. Just gotta tell you, it ain't that hard. It's a little harder to do what I'm doing. No disrespect, but come on. Why are you gonna go and build this shit up? Why? Watch what he says. He keeps saying this.
A lot of fraudulent, fake, low quality content in
All right, people, that's him posting that. But yeah, anybody in here who enjoys this amazing, super amazing content, remember to hit the like button and remember to subscribe to the Real Food TV, the greatest channel known to man.
People talk about it. They don't show you clickbait titles. The video don't have nothing to do. We bringing boxing back. If you're down for that, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I got a lot coming. Pause. Now, I got to toot my
why do you say pause
on horn right now? Because I am the best in the business, and it's not even.
You see it? I say the greatest channel known to man. Now he's the best in the business. Really, ego?
Close. I know for a fact that my words have a crazy reach. My channel has impact, and people definitely listen to Boxing Ego, whether they admit it or not. Because
look at me, I'm looking at it right now. But people, look, I watch these guys. I go around the internet just gauging these guys' opinions. I don't, not to be an asshole, but I don't subscribe to this guy because I've heard some of the stuff he said. I don't agree with probably most of it from what I've heard. He's usually the guy I go to kind of like analyze, and that's really what it is.
You heard Oscar De La Hoya. Listen to these Clapback Thursday. He's using exact talking points that I've said. Not just this one, but in the past.
You ain't no real Oscar De La Hoya fan. If you were, you would be listening to this all day, every day.
And when you're out in the cold,
if you don't like Oscar at his worst, you definitely don't like him at his best. This song, Am I Unwise to Love Me?
And you hear fighters being interviewed and trainers.
This guy's an Oscar De La Hoya poser. He don't really like him. You gotta like his early work, right? And by that I mean his singing. It's great, people. I'm opening up your eyes to Oscar. To Oscar.
The same thing that I've been telling you. And my content's free online, so anybody can access it and, get the talking point. One thing he said specifically in that Canelo.
Bacon in the comments says that Ego reminds me of a Muppet for some reason. He really does. He looks like a damn Muppet. Hey, Bert.
So Crawford Bash he said that.
Do you guys ever do this? You wear a damn winter hat in your house? I hope he's got the air conditioner on. I feel like if I put a winter hat on right now, I'd die. It's fucking hot out. It's summer. He's recording this video prior to the summer. Where does he live? Antarctica? Come on.
They were on
That'd be pretty funny, right? If he's like talking and there's like cool, kind of like a steam coming out of his mouth. That'd be cool.
Dinner date. That's literally, look, I did a video a week ago when that picture.
All right, so look, the guy says that they're ripping him off because he had a comment about a dinner date. So he's saying Oscar ripped him off by saying dinner date. Dinner date leaked. All right? Keep in mind, this guy's got a big ego, people. They're not copying him. They're copying me, obviously. I'm being copied. The guy literally said 2 lines that me and Bob said the other day, right? Before he made that fucking video. I'm telling you, people, we are the greatest channel known to man. It happens. They do it, but then they don't say anything about it.
First came out, literally my thumbnail says dinner date leaked, and it's of Canelo. I was born ready.
Bacon and eggs in the comments says winter here in Australia. I got the heater on. ATM. Is that what this says? ATM? Sorry, people. My eyesight's not the best. nowadays. I got to get some damn glasses. All right. What, you got the damn heater on when it's, wait, how cold is it over there? What, is it night? I mean, what's going on? I don't know what time it is in Australia. But yeah, you got the damn heater on in the summer?
And Crawford and Turkey eating dinner together. And he used those same words. Like, he didn't say, oh, eating dinner or something.
What's this guy doing? Why you got to give us sign language, bro? He got to, like, show that he's eating dinner with him. He has a fork. What if that's a little insensitive and racist, right, Ego? Not everybody eats dinner with a spoon or a fork. Some people use chopsticks or their hands. You fucking, wait, sorry, I cursed. You fucking, that didn't make sense because I said the F word before I said the other part. Okay, you, all right, there you go.
Eating dinner together. And he used those same words. Like, he didn't say, oh, eating dinner. Same words. Like, he eating dinner together. Crawford and Turkey eating dinner together. Eating dinner together. Eating dinner together. And he used those same words. Like, he didn't say, oh, eating dinner or supper, last supper. He said the same words. So you guys can believe.
Why was he going to say last supper? What?
Believe it. I've been telling y'all, they watch. They all listen. They all watch. They all know.
He's gonna be like Futv. You watch my video, and that's why you were on that sports show, Joe Rogan, and you do the hand gesture eating together, and you were pretending you had a fork in your hand.
Talking points, and you start to hear it regurgitated throughout boxing. Oscar, I
highly doubt Joe Rogan would let me on his show in the future because of the stuff I've exposed about him and Jason Momoa. But I feel like he exposed that himself, right? Am I wrong?
Let me go back to what he said. I can't disagree with him. I mean, he was destroying. Let's get right about here, maybe.
Buddies? Like they were family friends? I mean, best friends?
I love you, man.
Buddies? Like, and Crawford having dinner together?
Gay!
Like they're best friends?
I love you.
He said, now let's talk about that. He said, what is up with this? They're eating dinner together.
Look, every fucking time he says they're eating dinner together, he has to do some sign language. What is up with that?
They're eating dinner together. They're eating dinner together like they're best friends.
You imagine he talks about sexual things. You think he's going to do weird hand stuff, like he's going to talk to his wife or girlfriend. He's going to be like, I need one of those. You know what he's going to do with his hands. Disgusting.
This is exactly what I said. A lot of you idiots, you want to go against me, but I'm too powerful, I'm too strong.
Oh my God, this guy is too powerful, he's too strong. We're going to need the right kind of music for this. We're going to need it. But we're going to have to stop this guy, people. This guy's just way too powerful. This guy's way too strong. This guy's unstoppable. Are we in trouble? Are we in fucking trouble here? People, this guy's dangerous. We're going to need the Avengers to fight this man. I'm a little scared right now. Are you guys scared? Because I know I am.
Always will announce himself. I told you, boxing fans do not want to see this. There were people copping pleas in my video a week ago where I was talking about this dinner date that they were on, right? And I told you guys, for the most part, real boxing fans don't want to see that. We want drama. We want excitement. We don't want it to be fabricated.
Oh my God, these people in Australia, you guys are nuts. What's up over there? You guys are like, Bacon in the comments is over here saying it's 15 Celsius here or 59 Fahrenheit. He got the heater on, it's 59 degrees. I guess. I mean, hopefully you have it at a low setting. I mean, that is, I guess. It's already cold. And he says it's midday and it's 59 degrees. Over here where I live in New York, it actually does get cold at night. It gets a little cold, but I never put the heat on. It doesn't get that cold.
Right? And what makes it worse for Crawford and Canelo is you can't have it both ways. I don't know the exact dates of the press conference, but you can't be on Friday eating dinner with somebody, no problems, everybody's smiling, you're feet away from the person, you didn't pick up a fork and jab and stab at them, you didn't pick up a knife and threaten them, like you're cordially and professionally eating dinner together.
It's in some ways it doesn't even matter that much because these guys do travel together sometimes. I've seen it in the UFC. They're at the press conference. They're like staying in the same hotels and everything. So they probably, they're professionals. You can eat dinner with somebody and still fight with them, right? This is what happens, and it ain't the worst thing in the world. The worst part is the perception for the public that you're showing this. Like, why are you showing this? Anyway, we're gonna get out of this because, I mean, I will skip ahead and see if he actually has something to say. I just thought that other part was funny where he's going on about how they're copying me. Everybody's copying me. All right, give me 1 second.
Holding.
What I should do is I should show myself in the camera and wear a fucking red hat with sunglasses on. They'd be like, damn, he's copying me. If my videos, YouTube actually lets our shit be seen, right?
Ring cards, fake Snoop Dogs. Bow wow. 9-4 plus 5 penny. Add that, nephew. Right? You got all this stuff, gimmick stuff, and it's not helping, which is what I said from day one. That is not going to help. People don't want to see that. People don't care about that. We want to see good fights. Doing photo ops and making the fighters take pictures while they eating dinner. You could have kept that in your camera roll. Why?
All right, so I don't know how you make a 40, like this is like a 40-minute video where you bring up this shit. I mean, this video from Oscar is like a minute long and you make a whole video out of it. Doesn't make any sense to me, people, so I'm kind of done with this video. All right? The dude made a whole damn video talking about, oh, they're at dinner together. Okay. Yeah, it's silly. I mean, for a person like me, I would say that's kind of suspect in some ways. But, it's their ways, supposedly, they're both under his roof, maybe. You feel like I said, a lot of these deals that are done, they're usually done in secret. So, but they did show them, but it makes me kind of wonder, right, what's going on. And that's why I brought up the whole thing about Canelo Alvarez, right? And maybe they were coming up with a little business scheme. Oh, well, you go and you lay down on the fucking ground. This is why I brought up the Liston fight, right? Because that's the statue they had behind these two guys. The very first time you saw Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez together outside of that ring was in Turkey's house, right? And out of all the places to pose for this fucking picture, they pose with the statue of Muhammad Ali standing over Sonny Liston, a notorious fight that is known as being a fixed fight. It's notoriously known as a fixed fight. It's kind of odd. And then for Canelo to come in at the press conference and say, I know you want Crawford to win. Well, how does he know this? I don't know, but I could speculate. But in Canelo's mind, he's pretty sure that Turkey wants Crawford to win. And so that's why he said, you're going to be really disappointed. Now, a guy like Ego over here with the ego never have the balls to say something like this because you're a conspiracy theorist. This man is fully vaccinated. Not to say there's anything wrong with that. There's just something wrong with that. Remember to subscribe to the Real Food TV, the greatest channel on demand, people. It's pretty damn amazing. We've been watching Ego Boxing. Trash! People, you ever work really, really, really hard on something, on a project or anything, and you feel like you've been robbed? It's not a great feeling, but we go on because we ain't no bitches. We ain't no bitches. YouTube is our, what's that, Bolo Yang. He's our Bolo Yang, but guess what? Eventually, we're going to come out, and we're going to fuck them up, all right? You can't keep us down forever, you mother effers. You son of a... All right? So, we're probably going to watch one last thing, but what do you guys think of this Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. fight that's happening tomorrow? You not interested? Think it's shit? Think it's fixed? Put your comments in the comment section. And while you're doing that, remember to hit the like button. Please. Damn it. 1 second. Now that we looked at Jean-Claude Van Damme scream in a very epic way, very manly, very effing manly, right? Got to listen to something very Bloodsport-esque. Hopefully I have it here. I think I do. The theme song to Bloodsport. You know what's a cool song in Bloodsport? That song where it's like, on my own. Remember that part? When he's having his little like montage moment and he's kind of like sad. He's sad, Van Damme. He's sad. Couldn't find the Bloodsport clip. It makes me a little sad that I couldn't find it. But I do have this.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. Whores in this house. There's some whores.
All right, so right now we got Deontay Wilder.
I said certified freak.
He's fighting people. He's effing fighting. I think it might be on YouTube. Let's check this real quick.
Pull out game week. Yeah. Yeah, you effing with some wet ass P word.
People, when you come to the Real Food TV,
give me everything you've got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up, N word. Catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top if I want to ride. I do a Kegel while it's inside.
all right, people, what you're looking. 1 second.
Come take it, Joshua. It continues.
All right, what you guys are looking at right now.
And it gets significantly.
1 second.
It's significantly more vulgar. Like,
People, there's something very wrong with Ben Shapiro saying N-word. It would probably sound less racist if you actually used the word. Right now, what you're seeing is an overhead look of the Deontay Wilder card right now. It's actually on YouTube, and I think it's free. Right now, you see the comments there if you guys want to get around to that. We're going to be ending the show in a couple of minutes. All right. There you go. That's the build-up. They're showing some Terrence Crawford shit in there. All right. I think this might be part of that BP. I forget the name of the promotion. I think it's the same promotion that put on the Terrence Crawford versus Avanesian fight. You know, the fight where Terrence Crawford totally 100% did not have loaded gloves. That's why his gloves exploded. Oh, look at Crawford hitting this guy like a truck with his exploded gloves. All right, so there you go. That's happening right now. I'm seeing this is being brought to you right now. BLK BP Prime. All right, so there it is. Watching an overhead view. I do not know what time the main event is coming on. Maybe it's coming on in a couple minutes. I have no idea. But I didn't even know who the hell that guy is. These are some of the combatants, 4-round fight. We're not going to watch this here. I might be able to get away with it, but we're not going to do that. All right? But what we're going to do most likely is I'm going to be getting out of here. We're going to come back real soon, people. Maybe if I'm here tomorrow, if I'm not going somewhere, I'll probably do a live. I might do a live play-by-play of the Jake Paul versus Chavez fight. Maybe. I'm just hoping, people, I'm rooting for Chavez. I really am. I'm just, even though I don't care too much for Jake Paul, I would never buy one of those fights. I'm just kind of sick of seeing the guy, right? He's effing annoying. He really effing is. All right, guys. So who you got? Who you picking? I mean, I know it's kind of months away from the I guess the not so big fight, Crawford versus Canelo. But who you picking, and why? If you want to say it, if you want to come on the panel at some point, I'll be putting my Discord in there if you want. You can request it. We can get on the show. We don't do it very often, but we do allow guests. We have another show called Expert Panel. If you want to get on that, the Discord will be put in the description. All right? I'll be putting that into the description at the end of this video. All right? We're going to read some of the comments. All right. All right, so we go. Chavez better knock that wank stain out. Exactly, man. We got to get that wank stain the F out of this sport. We do. Do it, Chavez. Do it for your people. Do it for us. We are your people. If you if you want to win the fight, then we're with you, bro. We're with you. 100%. But people, the thing about Canelo and Crawford is Canelo isn't just bigger, but he's better. The man has the skills. He got those skills. Do you agree? All right, people, with that said, I'm going to be getting out of here. All right, we'll be back real soon. It's a very nice, rainy New York City. I want to thank everybody that came in here. This was Skills. This is the last press conference before the hopeful war, I guess. We're not really big into wars, but it would be nice to have a good fight. If Terrence Crawford really is trying to make a name for himself, we know this, and he does have a name, but it ain't that big. You know, if he really wants to solidify his name in history, really, in a big way, even though this is a past it Canelo Alvarez, that is kind of a tall task, right? To go up there and beat a guy that is not only bigger, but better. But if he has the perfect game plan, who knows? All right? I got Canelo Alvarez not only beating Terrence Crawford, but knocking him out. And let's hope after Terrence Crawford takes this knockout loss that he maybe in some ways makes a name for himself at 154, where I think he actually belongs, okay? Now we're going to thank some of these people who came in here, all right? All right, El Barbarino in the comments says they both belong in the wood chipper. I kind of agree with you. All right, in some ways. Canelo's okay. It's pretty good. All right, he has done some cherry picking in his day. We got, okay, we want to thank Bacon and Eggs. Bacon and Eggs, he was in there. He put a lot of bacon into the chat. Thanks a lot, man. We really appreciate that. He put a lot of bacon and eggs in that chat. It's sizzling in there. All right, El Barbarino was in here. We got Earl Stevenson. We always like Earl in here. Fighter in life. He didn't agree with a lot of the stuff I said, but I do appreciate the engagement and the fact that you don't agree with me and that you actually said something in there. If you want, once again, anybody wants to come in the show at some point, no diddy, you can get in here, people. Most likely, if you want to get in here, it'll be on our other show, which is called Expert Panel. If you want to get in there, you don't have to be too serious, people. You could curse me out. It's okay. We got Veronica came in here. Thanks a lot. She was in here. Adding the hot take. Scream fake. Scream's fake. Laugh out loud. It's not a fake scream, Veronica. I was actually screaming. That's a real scream. What are you talking about? I hurt my toe. I actually, if I want to do a really good scream, what I do is I usually stab myself in the foot with a nail. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm kidding. Okay. That's really mean of you to say I did a fake scream there. Is that what you do? You son of a... All right. Give me 1 second. All right, so we have Veronica in there. We had loads of people. Adam's in here. He disagrees with me too, and that's great, people. That's great that you all came in here. The Turk is in here. Skull Kids 25. Bacon and Eggs were in there. So passive. You guys, I really love you in a lot of ways. Sexually, I'm kidding. Frankie was in there. That's really cool. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks all you guys for coming in. We've got millions of people coming in tonight. It's really awesome. Bacon and Eggs. He's all like, gotta love bacon. Or step on Lego. Exactly. I step on a Lego as hard as I can. A guy just got knocked the F out on the wilder card. This guy's over here crying. Look at this. He might be crying over here, like sort of like the way Terrence Crawford might look. This guy's literally on the ground was like crying. Look, you see that guy with the funny hair? Let me go back a little step to show his face. This guy's like crying. I guess he heard a rib. Look at him. See him? He's heavy breathing. That's not good. Did they knock him out? Did he break a rib? Seems to be very upset. It was a 4-round fight, people. The guy, I guess he got hurt. I'm going to go back just a second. Might have been a quick finish. Just watch the end of this fight real fast. The guy is hurt, man. Let's watch this. We'll watch a couple of seconds of this before we get the F out of here. This is the Deontay Wilder card, people. This is happening right now on YouTube. U-Cylinder. All right? We're going to watch it for a second. Hopefully, don't hit me with a copyright. There is rain all over the screen, so maybe it'll mess up their whatever the algorithm they use. Look at this guy. He got 2, what is that, 3 ponytails? Boom. It was a right hand. He got hit with a right hand. He goes down. If that was, I forgot that guy, that boxer, that this happened to him, and they didn't even call it a knockdown. It's one of these guys that building up. I forgot the dude's name. I wish I remembered. All right. All right, here we go. Tomorrow, people, it isn't just a Chavez Jr. fight. We also have Kid Schofield is fighting tomorrow. He's fighting Farmer. That could be a good one, right? That could be a decent fight. We're going to watch the end of this little fight here because I just find it interesting that the guy's crying. It looks like he got a big-ass wallet in his back pocket, if you notice. Look at this. This guy, man, come on, man. You don't get into a boxing ring and a wallet in your pocket. There's a left hook to the body there, it looks like. This man is bouncing around with 3 ponytails. Is that Carrot Top's cousin? Listen, oh, he's down, and he's down. I guess this is the end. This guy get hit with a rabbit punch? Maybe it's a delayed reaction. I saw him get stabbed to the body with a left hook. Fights off. That's what ended. It was a body shot. Now he falls down holding his belly. Not too impressive there, but he's on fire. He hits the bum slayer. You got Tim Bradley's probably like, he got skills. But with that said, people, I'm getting the F out of here. All right. We want to thank you all for coming in here from the bottom of our Futv hearts. We really thank you, and we thank you. We thank you, and remember to if you're new to the channel, remember this is us walking into the sunset for the day. We might maybe play a video game later on, maybe do some food gaming, but when it comes to boxing and combat sports, we're getting the F out of here, people. We're looking cool, me and Bob. Bob's not here right now, but if she was here, me and her would be walking into that sunset wearing some cool dusters, looking super duper cyberpunk, with 2 eye patches for me, because you know Kurt Russell in Escape from New York. People, this is my hometown. Brooklyn, born and raised. Escape from Brooklyn. I love the place. I go back. I don't not to the hipsters, but just me and Bob here, stepping into the walking into the sunset. Like Kurt Russell wore only one eye patch. I wore 2. Why? Because I'm cool. I'm extra cool. It's just the way it is, people. 2 eye patches is way better than 1, right? All right. Me and Bob just walking away looking super damn cool, right? At the end of his stream. Being awesome. Doing backflips for some weird reason. I don't know why, but we're doing it. Anyway. See you guys later. Have a good night. And, you know, get... well, if you're in Australia, I guess, put your heater on because it's a little cold over there. It's a little nippy. Bacon and eggs over here saying, see ya! See ya! All right? I say see ya. Would want to be myself. Sorry. But anyway, remember, stay... If you're in the... if you're in an area that's actually hot, remember to stay cool, people. I'm always cool. Even when it's hot. Right? Just saying. And if you're in a hot area... Stay warm, but I don't know. You can still be cool. Whatever. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody that came over here and watched this video presentation of Skills, the 3rd press conference of Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford. Now it's just the build-up, people. Now they're just in camp getting ready for this not-so-super fight. And we'll be giving you some more updates on what's going on in this fight, along with all the many other fights, right? That's going on. This is a combat sports show, people. And remember that. And subscribe to the Real Food TV. And if you want to donate to our Venmo, which is one of the things that helps this channel, people, there's 2 ways to support this channel. It'd be good if you did both. And that's to subscribe. And if you want, donate to our Venmo, which is in the description for the video. All right. But with that said, we're cooler than ego boxing. Just saying. Have a good night, everyone. See you guys later.
Crime rate in the United States rises 400%. The once great city of New York becomes the one maximum security prison for the entire country. A 50-foot containment wall is erected. Are simple. Once you go in,
But before that, Beta! 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 Beta!
Wanted that gold medal. I know it's emotional, but you walk away with the silver
And we're going to beat up that woman beater. You guys like that?
That's this guy. Come on, beat her. You must have learned that from me.
Help me.
You're an idiot. An energetic idiot. But an idiot.
Man, you fight with nobody. 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 Man, you fight with nobody.